Oh, did it?
Yep.
Did it really?
As soon as I started.
It did.
Reconnected.
Oh no.
So chat. I don't know what's happened. I think this is on YouTube side.
It's possible. It's very, very possible.
We could blame YouTube chat. Anyways, hi. How's everyone doing?
I hope everyone's doing okay. I'm having a good day. I started 3D printing my own shelves. In fact, I'm going to start a new one while we're doing this here.
Yeah, turn the music down an inch.
I was looking into Harry Potter wand stands to put on my 3D printed shelves because I have a wand that's just been sitting in its box ever since I got it. My one time I visited Universal, and now I'm just like, you know what? I kind of want to display that, even though I'm the only one that's going to look at it.
Why does everyone want Deer Zoo? I'm confused.
What? Deer Zoo?
Yeah, Deer Zoo.
I'm confused. What is that?
It's Deer Mizu.
Oh, okay.
Also, the upside down person is Espiritu, who is Australian. That's why they're upside down.
That's perfect, isn't it? It's totally a joke.
Send my emus after you.
It's better than
emus
being
are gonna
a
come for
Brit
you.
So.
You were subservient to the Emu Nation.
Exactly.
I
What's up, emu dudes?
Emu?
Also, did you hear that I don't know if it was this year or a couple years back, did you hear that your nation discovered the newest, most deadly spider?
Again, for the third year in a row.
I was gonna say, how many do we have now?
Well, have you heard the name of this one?
I don't know, because there's so many of them, I've lost count of what all their names are. Like the big boy and all those kind of weird stuff.
Yeah, so the deadliest funnel web spider was discovered in Australia in 2025, and it is called the Newcastle Big Boy.
That's right. Newcastle Big Boy.
That's amazing.
It is called the Newcastle Big Boy because it is exactly the same as the deadly wandering spider, except it's twice as big. It literally looks exactly the same in every way. It's just double the size.
So in another 10 years, we'll have triple the size.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Or maybe it'll be quadruple the size because it'll be double the double.
That's amazing.
So we'll get to a point where I can ride spiders around the street.
Yeah. Well, to be honest, it would be Australians that would find some way to tame them. Gonna be real.
If there's a will, there's a way.
Yeah. For you, there is. For me, I'm just gonna like take out my my freedom piece and hope that goes through the carcass of that. That sounds disgusting. How big is it, Mizu? Did you mention that?
It's 9 centimeters.
Oh, jeez.
Which all guys out there can agree is a perfectly respectable size. You know, in fact, 9 centimeters, huge. Absolutely huge.
Big boy spider. All the female spiders out there, they can't get enough of 9 centimeter Spider-Man.
Yes. Just understand, it is huge. Biggest you've ever seen.
Imagine dog-sized mantis. Yes. Speaking
Mantis
of
pretty
huge,
chill, as long as you leave them alone.
Yes. I want to say so, yeah. They typically are. Can I get that in freedom units? Well, chat, go to Google. It's very easy. It's like 3.5 inches.
Exactly, giant. Very respectable size.
Sounds a lot worse when you just say 3.5 inches.
For a spider, yes.
You know, when you ask a guy, how big are you? Oh, I'm 9 centimeters. And then when you convert it, you're like, oh.
Are you worried about Occo stabbing you in the back when you aren't looking, like last night? I don't think Occo ever killed me last night. I don't remember.
No, I didn't. I don't think it was. I don't think I killed you last night. I think so. Last night, for those that weren't there, I was. There was one round where I wasn't actually a killer, but I decided to be an asshole anyway, just because I thought it would be the funniest thing, and it was the funniest thing in the world. Like, a bunch of people thought I was the murderer, even though I wasn't, and so they were focused on me, and then the murderers still lost, I think.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to be an asshole for fun. It was funny.
Thank you, Internet's in Match for 2. It's huge. Biggest ever.
Very. The absolute biggest ever. Speaking of which, so the Olympics happened, and the only reason why I care is because apparently America, for the first time since the 70s, I believe, won like fucking, what was it, hockey against Canada. And a bunch of Canadians are mauling so horribly. And when you like try and rub it in their face, they're like, "Oh well, at least we don't have a fascist dictator." And I'm just sitting here like, okay, so that I don't feel like that's like, I don't feel like that matters to me, you know.
The Canadians are very upset because not only did we beat them in hockey, they got caught cheating in curling by the Swedes.
They did. That's right. That's right. They got caught cheating. Oh my gosh, that was hilarious. Did you see that video?
Yes. And as it turns out, the only reason more didn't happen to Canada is because the refs weren't watching, and the refs are not allowed to use outside video to make their judgments. So even though they 100% on camera in 4K got caught cheating, nothing can happen to them because the refs weren't looking when it happened.
That's so dumb. But you saw the videos, right? Like you saw them like tickle the end of the curl, like as they had thrown it. I was just like, bro, what the fuck? That is insane. And the fact that they got away with it too.
What's funny, apparently, is the reason the Swedish team had a camera set up was because they had suspicions that Canada had been cheating every single year.
It's amazing.
So
imagine if they did.
They got it down to the exact point on the line where they were sure the guy was cheating at, and that's where they set up the camera.
That is hilarious.
And they caught him on it.
Just right. That is insane. That's funny, is what it is.
People were also making fun of Canada because apparently the Canadian hockey team got in a fight with the French hockey team, and they lost to the French. Which is
Did they really?
Yeah, apparently they lost a fight with the French team, like a physical brawl.
I don't know, man. I think Canada's kind of like, I think they're kind of cooked.
They got beat by the USA, they lost a fight to the French, and they got caught cheating by the Swedes.
That's hilarious.
So just everybody was beating up on Canada this Olympics.
I don't know if I should feel bad or not, but because it's just like, you know, Canada, I don't care about Canada, so, you know.
To be fair, hilarious. French Canadians exist, so of course they'd lose to pure Frenchies. But yeah, that's the only reason anybody cares about Canada right now, and the Canadians are super mad that anybody makes fun of them for it.
Well, I shall continue to do so just because of that. That is amazing. But the only reason why I brought it up is because after America won, Trump invited the hockey team, the male hockey team, to the White House, and he served them all McDonald's.
Which people were saying was like, oh, Trump really cheaped out with them. No, Trump unironically loves McDonald's.
It's just like, okay, I really don't care what I eat when I go to the I imagine that you can eat whatever you want when you go to the White House if like Trump gives you the opportunity. But I really don't care if it's like McDonald's. It's just like, oh yeah, I'm having a double cheese with Trump at the White House. That sounds like more of a meme than just like saying I had a rump roast at the White House with Donald Trump. You know, maybe
there's
I'm weird,
a movie which was based on a comic called Richie Rich. And in the movie Richie Rich, he has a McDonald's inside of his mansion. And I just kind of picture that as like Trump's house.
Yeah.
Like he just has a McDonald's 24/7 McDonald's in his mansion.
Yeah, something like that. It's amazing.
Thank you, Wolfsbane, for 2. Lost to the USA twice, by the way, both men's and women's team. Fair.
That's beautiful.
This isn't even the first time Trump has done this with a pro-American athletic team. No, he's done it multiple times before. And he's literally not sheeping out. He just actually loves McDonald's.
Mhm.
For Trump, giving you McDonald's is like the highest praise because he unironically loves the food.
The best food ever. We're gonna give you them double cheeses. It's amazing.
Yes.
Yes.
You good a spear too? We not dragging you down?
Oh no.
No, technically, you're dragging him upside down.
Exactly.
No, he's just naturally upside down. That's what it's like in Australia.
That's true.
I've always wondered why that's a meme with Australia, but not anywhere else that's below the equator.
That is a good question.
That's such a good question.
Because there's a lot of stuff below the equator that's not Australia.
Yeah, like Florida. No, I'm just kidding.
I think it's just our country's the only one that really catched on to it.
Fair.
Mhm.
That, and apparently we're all paid actors.
Oh, yeah, no, Australia's not real.
Okay. That's right. That's right.
Anytime
that's right.
you fly
Australia's
over
not real.
Australia, you're actually flying over New Zealand. A specific set on the corner of New Zealand that is made to look like Australia.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard that? That's an actual conspiracy some people have.
I did not know that. No.
Yeah, that Australia isn't real. It's there's a corner of New Zealand that planes fly over, and it's a set piece made to look like a desert. So it's Australia, and anyone who says they've been to Australia is actually a government plant.
That's amazing.
And I'm a
Just
paid
like saying
actor.
that. Just like say, how much are you getting paid for this acting right now?
Clearly not enough.
Oh no. Fair enough.
Not enough to deal with the fucking spiders.
So, there's one in my kitchen right now. I was cooking udon and it just sat on the wall watching me the entire time.
Yeah.
Maybe it was a little camera. It was watching you.
Internet Zenmaster for 10. Donald Trump has served McDonald's for several winning teams on the White House visit. How fast people forget his first term. Also, Trump worked at McDonald's. Of course, he'd love that food.
Very true. I just wish that they would up the quality, up the quality of their food just a tiny bit, and I'd be, I wouldn't care as much. I feel like it McDonald's already was low quality, but it's gotten lower recently.
I liked them when they were selling the chicken selects.
Oh, those were good.
I don't know why they don't stay. They just come and go randomly. I like the chicken selects a lot though.
That's fair.
Anyways,
That's fair.
chat, tonight we're gonna you saw the title, we're gonna talk about Leaflet. Because
Technically again.
Nicandros and Harmful Opinions were trying to take a swing at Nux, and when they realized that nobody actually gave a shit, they immediately turned to Leaflet for some reason.
Not only did they turn to Leaflet, they also, was yesterday, I believe, Nick Andros decided to take a hit at what he calls the Brat Pog Kirsch, which that's what he called her, not me. I'm just repeating what Nick Andros decided to say. So they're trying to swipe at anybody that goes, that is not conforming to the opinion that they want.
I also have to say, because Nick Andros made this joke on Twitter, I'm fine with jokes, but when you are actively saying people shouldn't be making quote unquote pedophile jokes on Discord, you probably shouldn't post a picture of Leaflet and say this brat needs correction.
Yeah, I found that kind of funny. I'm going to be honest. It's just okay, you're getting upset with a lot of the jokes that are being made in Nuxtaku's Discord server and now Leaflet's Discord server. But the brat needs correction is literally a meme in anime culture for
It's a lolicon meme.
Yeah, it's a lolicon meme, and it's just my man, there could be kids on Twitter, and you could be exposing them to this joke. And that sounds absolutely fucking retarded. And when people clip that and say that sounds retarded, I'm going to be yeah, I know, but that's literally what these people are saying. So I'm confused right now. Why is it okay for him to make this joke, but it's not okay when he's trying to call out people for what he assumes is serious crimes?
Thank you, Noir, for 5. The New Zealand-Australia conspiracy makes no sense, unlike birds being drones, which is 100% true.
Some of them, at least. Some of those pigeons in New York City, maybe. They're all watching those citizens shoveling snow for $45 an hour.
But
We have a giant metal pigeon in my city.
But yeah, for some reason, Nicandros just tweeted. Here, I'll pull it up for chats for anybody that didn't see it, because nobody can not believe me.
It was a little bizarre. I'm just gonna be honest. I like double took because I was like, what the fuck?
Let's do the full screen one.
Oh goodness.
Why did my full screen one not work? Oh, there it is. Yeah, I just tweeted, never seen a brat get corrected this hard.
Insane.
Like,
that is something that I would expect you to say. I'm gonna be honest with you.
You can't bitch
Or
about
other-
like lolicon jokes and then say shit like this.
No.
Are the jokes a problem or are they not?
They're only a problem when you're in a Discord server where minors are involved. But because it's Twitter, it's obviously the open public, which in my personal opinion is a little bit worse than a Discord server filled with less people, because there is a likelihood that you'll encounter a multitude of children on Twitter.
Also, chat, before we get started into that, I just wanted to share you my little hyperfixation of the day because I thought it was really fucking funny.
Oh boy.
So if anybody has ever played Stardew Valley, Stardew Valley to this day is still an extremely popular game and is regularly in the top 10 most played on Steam. And they're having an update, which is their 1.7, and they're adding new marriage candidates. And one of the candidates is this guy, Clint. And if you read the replies to this is unironically the biggest controversy Stardew Valley has ever been in its entire, like, history.
Wait, really?
People are so mad.
Why?
Because Clint sucks.
Okay, it's been a while since I've played Stardew Valley. What's wrong with Clint? Is he just like an asshole or something?
No, so he comes off like really weird because he's super like awkward, but he also has like an obsession with this one girl called Emily, which is one of the other marriage candidates.
Okay.
Like he's like oddly obsessed with her.
In a creepy degree, or?
A lot of people think it's a creepy degree.
Okay. Interesting.
But yeah, no, this is the this tweet, it's just these two can be married in 1.7, Sandy and Clint. It has 2.7 thousand replies, 30,000 retweets.
And all of them are just upset that you can rizz up the creep now.
Not all of
that's what they're
them,
upset.
but some of them. Like you have I hate this, roll back the change, send Clint to the meat grinder.
What the fuck? What did Clint do to these people?
Yeah. Oh, so this is the second one. She was right there. IDC about Demetrius, let us have her. People were saying they would rather have an update where you can cuck the currently married people than have Clint.
Currently married people where the male is black. That is
No, they were
pretty
saying for
cool
any of the relationships.
fair.
They wanted you to be able to break up other couples that currently exist just to make their spouses marriage candidates.
That's
kinda fun.
weird. I don't know, man.
I love the chaos.
You love
They
the
would rather
chaos?
have that over Clint. People do not have like Clint.
That's. I guess I need to play Stardew Valley again because now I'm curious. I'm like, what am I missing? Is this guy? I need to find out how much of an asshole this guy is, I guess.
There was somebody who pulled a Pippa in response to a Dextero article that went viral and said they were going to shoot somewhere up if Clint got announced as a marriage candidate.
Oh my gosh.
And Dextero
Well, shoot
replied
up.
to them and said, "I have bad news for you." And they replied something like, "I'll leave my final message here tomorrow" or something.
Oh my gosh, that's funny.
People do not like Clint.
Crazy.
It's so funny. It is genuinely hilarious. Just watching people.
Chat, don't do that, by the way. Don't shoot a gun up in the air. All right? I cannot endorse that in any way, shape, or form, because there is a good chance that if you do that, you will harm yourself or someone around you.
What goes up must come down.
Well, yeah, and it's just like Darwin Awards is all I'm gonna say. All right, Darwin Awards. I don't know. That's I don't recommend that in any way, shape, or form. So.
But chat, I believe. Oh wait, we got some super chats. I'll touch on those first. Thank you, Internet Zen Master for 20. On top of that, Nick quote tweeted Leaflet sharing art that was mocking him and went, "Now do the mating press version."
Oh my god.
Meanwhile, Nux, the guy he wants to give him attention, is enjoying his IRL life stuff instead.
That is amazing. I forgot about that because like somebody did fan art of Leaflet. They're like, here, Leaflet, I drew this guy being an absolute insane maniac. And Nick Andrews is like, do the mating press. And I'm just sitting here like, bro, are you unironically getting off to this? I'm a little confused, right? Like, I'm pretty sure
it's weird.
Like this is a joke. He's like trying to joke. I'm pretty sure. But like, man, I don't know. I don't know. It's weird. What did Nick mean by that? I guess that means that Nick, with a furry bear creature, wants to have his furry bear creature go down on a lolly. That's
yeah. Also, Roadkill VT for 5. Nicandros fought with Leaflet about her position that parents and the platform share responsibility. Nicandros makes the same argument in his video. I am gonna have my controversial take, apparently, in that I think it is solely parents' responsibility, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you see a kid on the internet, your only responsibility is to not interact with them.
Yeah, well, my whole thing is, and I feel like it's fair to say, it's just like, if I see a kid, I'm going to block them and get them out of my space. I feel like that's a fair thing to say, and that's the only thing that you really should have to do. Outside of blocking a kid and getting them outside of your space, you really don't have to do anything else. And, like, I would be very confused if other people would argue with you on that.
Yeah. Zaimaru for 2. The biggest grift right now is moral fags. It is, but it's been that way for a while. It's not like a new thing.
No, it just feels like it's louder than it actually is.
But I'm kind of letting Occo lead the Leaflet thing. So did you want to start with the videos?
Yes. So I thought about doing what I did yesterday and bringing up a bunch of pictures and telling you a story. But instead, I'll just like give everybody a brief TLDR of kind of how we got to this point. So Nick Andros made videos on Mutahar, and then after learning about Mutahar, he discovered Nuxtaku, decides he's going to make a video on Nuxtaku. On Nuxtaku's birthday, he decides to release this video. Releases this video, it doesn't hit the way he wants, and so now what he's doing is he's looking for anybody that is tangentially related to Nuxtaku or is friends with Nuxtaku so that he can look into them and see how bad that they are. It's basically hopping from person to person, trying to find the next giant for him to slay, so to speak. And so didn't work out with Nux. Again, this is just like, it's like really insane how divorced we kind of are from Nuxtaku, or excuse me, you could even say go back as far as Mutahar, because Mutahar I feel like was kind of like one of the original targets. Then he jumped to Nuxtaku, and I imagine he was thinking that he was going to do a lot of damage, because as he admitted to me, he was wanting to like either end Nuxtaku's career or like severely damage it to the point where Nuxtaku couldn't get new fans from it. And that didn't happen. In my personal opinion, Nuxtaku basically gets to walk away. And the only people that are really like being really positive on Nick Andros' video is Hassan Piker, who allegedly Nick Andros is not also a fan of, which is why it's kind of funny in my personal opinion. And so, again, like I said, he's going after people that don't agree with him 110%. That includes people like Leaflet. Leaflet made she didn't even make a video. She made on her stream, someone asked her to comment on the situation, and she's like, I really don't know what's going on, but it sounds dumb. And people kind of took that as, oh, she must obviously think that Nuxtaku is innocent, or she must be sweeping for him. So she decided to kind of they decided to go after her. My apologies. Please tell me to say something again if it sounds like I'm kind of like getting out of like order. There is a lot of little steps here, and only autistic people can follow it like this. And it got to the point where Leaflet made a bit of a longer response saying, guys, this is really retarded. I don't really care about this. All of these people look the same to me, and I'm just going to treat them all the same. And she then walks away, and then people were getting upset at her for that. And we get to where we kind of are now, where people decided that since she's not giving the answer that they want, that they were going to look inside her area and see if there's anything weird going on in her area. So they went into her Discord and started scraping her Discord and looking for anything that they could inside her Discord. And that's how we got to the first, second, and third Harmful Opinions video.
Okay.
It's kind of like a catch up there for all of you. I hope that wasn't too confusing.
So which one of these do you want me to click first?
The first one. The first one is his first video, the child auction one, which, by the way, sounds way... I still can't take that seriously, man. I just can't.
No, I agree. That's... I mentioned it to you the other day, but I was going to talk about these later on my own channel. But just some of the shit he said, it was like so obviously like, wow, this is bullshit. Why would you say that?
Yeah. Yeah.
But can both of you see it?
Yes.
Yep.
Alright, chat, so we're going to be looking at this for the next 15-ish minutes. I am going to put it on 1.2.
1.2 is probably fine. And here's what I will say. Now that I have seen like his arguments from his third video, walking back retrospectively, I feel like I'll do a decent job trying to explain what he was kind of trying to go for here. And then I will explain why I think that still doesn't work out very well because of how he chose to do it, basically.
Yeah.
Anyway, go ahead.
Oh, a VTuber is actually going to take a look at that Nuxtaku video. Oh, she didn't look at it at all. And even just yapping around it and dodging anything where she'd have to think or have any sort of spine, she still managed to disappoint me.
He sounds very upset
Leaflet
that
is
she's
one of
not
those
actually like
supposedly religious
engaging with it.
Yeah.
Who pretends to be a cartoon on the internet and has all the fire in the world to spit at every other thing she looks at. Clearly understands how filth rots its surroundings and radiates outwards, affecting us all. But on the matter of the corruption of the next generations online, is fixated on the culpability of the parents, ignoring entirely that what she's looking at is the next wave of parents who aren't going to look after their kids, and in fact will think all of what happens in the dark corners of Discord is fine. These are the...
So, I hate this argument, just in general, right? Of the... Well, these parents aren't teaching these kids, and then these kids won't teach their kids. I'm like, yeah, I guess that sucks. I'm not their parent, and I'm not going to step up to be their parent, because I chose not to have kids specifically because I don't like them.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I have to mention this, and YouTube can probably see it. Chat can't see it because it's off screen. There's a fucking Jacob Geller video off on the corner that's 40 minutes long. It's titled, I Am Jesus Christ and Other Games About Jews.
Oh my gosh.
And there's a picture of a Big Daddy from BioShock in the background.
I might have to listen to that tomorrow. That looks pretty funny. I need to start prepping for my Saturday locale stream, but that's amazing.
I don't mean to derail things, but I saw that in the corner of my eye. I'm like, that just fucking...
That is awesome.
It threw me for a loop. Thank you, Internet Zedmaster, for 10. Worth noting on the Nicandros thing regarding Nux, he was posting about career-ending stuff back in October 25th of last year. Dude only wanted content from the get-go.
I mean, that's at this point, like, that's kind of how I feel it is. I mean, like, he's going to come out and say, no, I wanted to go on this crusade against pedophiles. And it's just like, I at this point, I'm not quite sure how much I believe that based off of how these people act. It's just like, there is a way to go after real predators. And this isn't it. This isn't it. And I feel like content creators always fuck it up. It's nice to point out and say, oh my gosh, that person is evil and gross and I don't like them. But like, unless you're willing to involve the police, I don't know. I don't know, man. So, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So.
The people who are going to be the adults your kids are around in real life. Where are the parents, she asks.
Where are the parents at? Where are they at?
She knows where, though. A huge chunk of her content is talking about that. All these influences in the world didn't show up 5 years ago. The negligent or messed up parent of today was the kid being corrupted yesterday. It's a vicious cycle that needs to be broken somewhere, unless you're just okay with living in hell. I find that saying, not my fault, teehee, is little comfort as the world collapses around you. Let's be fair, though. People wanting you to address stuff that has nothing to do with you is probably stressful. I could hear the tension in Leaflet's voice. She sounded like a 3-year-old with a severe temporomandibular deformity for the entire video. But
I want to say, by the way, I feel like if you actually want somebody to take you seriously, starting off by like throwing insults at them definitely isn't the way to go.
I was actually thinking the same thing. I was like, for someone that's trying to persuade someone to see your side of things, throwing personal insults at someone is not going to have the effect that you think it's going to have. Just some
No.
advice to you, hateful opinions, seeing as you're probably watching this.
Well, it's that, but it's also really funny because like in the third video, he'll come out and basically say, guys, this was my intent with the video all along. I can't believe this is so hard to understand. And I'm just sitting there like, yeah, I can understand why people might not get it, because all they hear is you saying how much you hate these people and how much you want them to die. So they probably not focusing on the message that you probably they would agree with. And instead, all they're focusing on is how like you want them to die and you hate them and how much you think they suck as an individual. And it's just like, you might need to improve your delivery a little bit if you actually want people to take you seriously.
Yeah, that's fair.
Which has kind of like been a thing that, again, Mizu, you were more involved in GG than I was. Hasn't that always been his problem? Is his delivery has always been a problem, and that's why nobody like listened to him?
Yeah, he had an issue for a long time of like he would just have like it's a very us versus them mentality about everything.
Uh-huh.
And it caused so many problems. Seems very salty for a non-biased reporter of information. Yeah.
I mean, he can be biased and that's fine. I don't necessarily think that's my problem. My problem is just that, like, if you want to work on taking down actual bad people, starting out with insults like this doesn't help. Again, I think that the biggest problem we have now is there are people that are like, oh, we want you to face repercussions for things, or we want to talk about things. I don't think that's what these people want. I think that these people just want to make a video, be upset on the internet, maybe get a quick view. I have absolutely no idea. And then they're just going to move on and look for the next thing. That's all it feels like. That's all it feels like to me, unfortunately. And if that's not what it is, well, you fucked up, because that's how a lot of people feels like it is.
Thank you, Basebird, for 5. He has an axe to grind with either anime VTubers or just people that don't want to even comment on the Nux stuff. Nutcase behavior, though, in my opinion. But we'll keep going.
Yes.
Of any tangible connection she has to the Nux stuff. So I get it kind of sucks people are pressing you to make comment on something like that. So instead, to make it more relatable and...
Okay, I'd have to mention this before we continue. There is no connection. Like, I think she liked Nux's content, but they're not like besties or anything.
I don't think they're besties, but I believe that they have talked with each other before.
Yeah.
That's why it's like it would be as if you got into a controversy and somebody asked me to talk about it. It would make more sense because I've streamed with you dozens upon dozens upon dozens of times, and it would make more sense to be like, can you talk about this? Whereas with Leaflet, I don't even know if they've streamed together. Like, I know that they've probably had some conversations in DMs, but I don't even know if they've streamed together. At most, they probably have rated each other at times, but, a lot of streamers rate other individuals. I don't think that's, like, an indictment of friendship. But it's just, like, why... I don't see how the connection is really as big as I feel like some people are making it out to be, It'd be like me getting into controversy and you getting hate for it because we've interacted on Twitter. Yeah, I would agree with that.
Thank you, Internet Semester, for 10.
I don't think Leaflet needs to give a take on every single dumb drama that happens in the sort of right echo space. It's just that whole idea is stupid because there's so much drama on the internet. If we were contributing to every dumb drama, I wouldn't have time to bloody breathe.
Yeah.
No, I agree.
So hateful opinions sort of mindset of, well, you have to have an opinion on this because you both follow each other. It's like, okay, well then I would have to have an opinion on every single content creator that I follow. And it's like, I can't keep up with that. That's just unrealistic. And he should understand that. But I think he's looking for something to try and hook her in and say, well, no, you have to have an opinion on that. That's like the whole Emerald situation.
Yeah.
Thank you, Internet Zen Master, for 10. Every Gamergate veteran can verify what I'm about to say. Harmful Opinions has been this way for over a decade, and he's only gotten worse. This is part of why no one took his candid video seriously. Also, because I saw a couple people mention it, we're not saying he needs to be nicer because he's wrong if he's not nice. We're saying nobody listens to him because he can't like package his views in a way that's like acceptable to people. And you can say that's right or wrong. I'm just saying that's the reality of how it's working.
I mean, imagine a situation where me and Mizu are walking down the street and we bump into each other, and the first thing I say is, "Oh, you F and blah, 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 blah. Why did you do this?" Mitsu's instant reaction is going to be, "Well, this guy's an asshole. I'm not going to listen to him." So if you want to approach someone and try to get them to come to the conversation and be like, "Hey, this person has a reasonable opinion on something," the first thing you shouldn't do is insult them and try and get on a bad foot. Like, if you want to be blunt and be like, "Hey, I think you're an idiot because you did this, this, and this," it's like, okay, yeah, you insulted them, but you're being, you're not going to real personal, which is exactly what he did at the start of the video. He went straight for a very personal jab, which is just not helpful.
Well,
Yeah.
and it's doubly so for on the internet, because in real life, there's like a little bit of this person is physically here. I can't go anywhere else. On the internet, I can push a button and you literally don't exist anymore.
Pretty much. It's just like it's so easy, and I do think that part of it, and maybe I'm just explaining away behavior that I don't need to, but it's just like I think that in these people's minds, they actually think that people like Leaflet, people like you, people like maybe even me, I guess at this point, that we're all horrible, disgusting, evil people. So why should they be nice? And it's just like, well, you should be nice if you want to actually get something. But then you have to go to the idea of just like, well, I don't actually think that they're looking for there to be niceties. They're just looking to do something and be something. And at that point, it's just like, well, why even bother?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if I explained that correctly or if I sounded stupid.
No, we'll just keep going.
Fair enough.
Comfortable. Let me give her something of her own to address. But first, imagine this. There is a community hall, a space where people can gather and talk about a bunch of different
Not going to do a huge discussion about it, but this is a horrendous way to start a video, to say, oh, well, because she didn't like my last video, now I'm going to do something to her. You're immediately telling chat that this is retaliatory. Not a good look.
No,
things at a bunch of
no,
different
you shouldn't be
tables. It's
doing
not
things in
necessarily
retaliation.
targeted at kids, but kids 13 and up are explicitly welcome, and they do hang out there. Now, at the back of this hall, there is a walled-off area. That's where the porn theater is, and the adults who are hanging out in the mixed space pop in and out of there to masturbate together. So it's not just kids and adults hanging out, it's kids and adults who are there specifically to look at porn hanging out. Now, that seems totally insane to me. But this
Okay,
actually
pause real
outlines how many
quickly. You know what's really funny? I mentioned this yesterday, and then I watched another YouTuber that had the exact same opinion. You know what those kinds of spaces exist? It's called a mall. And malls have adult stores in them, and malls have non-adult stores in them that kids shouldn't go into. And I imagine that the adult stores wouldn't let them in there. But like those spots and places exist.
Well,
And he's saying that that's insane, and I just like, no, that's completely normal.
But his
IRL.
framing
Sorry, go ahead.
of it is people are coming in here to watch porn together. In reality, a lot of times when a not safe for work like voice chat comes up like that, it's not just for porn. It is a section for like anybody who's just like, this is 100% not safe for work topics, politics, violence, etc., etc., etc. Anything that a kid should not be involved in.
The way he's making it sound like is people are jumping in a voice chat and they're just groaning and moaning at each other. And I'm like, I can guarantee you that's probably not happening. Like, I'm 99% sure people aren't just jumping in a voice chat and going, ugh.
I know that they exist. I heard one once, and I noped out immediately. But like, no, to think that that's what's going on in every not safe for work channel, that is insane. Yes, I agree. That is insane.
Thank you, Scavenge, for 5. He sounds like a pompous know-it-all as he drinks his distilled farts. Everyone hates that. Wonder why.
I get what he's trying to do. He's trying to over-exaggerate things, put a bit of a theatrical behind it to really sell the image to his audience.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But for anybody that's been like, I mentioned this on Twitter, the problem is they're fighting a community that knows what these sections are for, so his arguments just immediately fall apart.
Because he doesn't understand it, because he hasn't been in it. And that's fair that you haven't been in it, but you can't walk into a place and assume that you know how it works and then just expect that everybody's going to listen to you because you're saying what you think it is. People are just not going to listen to you because you don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Discord servers are run, and how Leaflet's own is run. People have all sorts of arguments and hypotheticals about why that's fine, why it's safe, why it's a good idea, why it's okay. Personally, I prefer reality, so let's look at what actually happens when a server is arranged like this. Let's see what actually happens in Leaflet's server. Meet Nur. Nur is an active user on Leaflet's Discord who is granted the Adults tag. This is acquired by contacting mods and gives you access to the Adults channel. While the split between the mixed age areas and the adult channel is razor sharp and based on some kind of verification, I don't know what they do, the behavior of the users who pass between these two spaces isn't quite so night and day. In the Blue Archive game channel that is open to everyone, early last year, Knur posted a picture of some character or other and said, "Ooh, oh, if you're not familiar, this is a lolicon thing." Another post from Knur should
I don't care. I don't know why he's like
same image, and he's like, "Oh my god, let me get angry about it." Like, okay, boomer.
Yeah, everything in Blue Archive is safe for work.
My mother was more hip than you, bro, and she was like in her 60s. She was reading High School DxD manga and going, "Yeah, it's some good shit." Like, bro, what are you? They're like some shitty boomer. Give it the times. It's not porn. It's just another character.
I made this point that if you are going to have kids, just like in an open server, you probably shouldn't have Blue Archive out in the open because, in my personal opinion, even though Blue Archive might be 13 plus in the App Store, I don't think it should be 13 plus. I think that all of these gacha games should be 17 or 18 plus. So, like, I would agree with that. But, like, again, the way that it's being framed, it makes it hard for people to even agree, even if you're right. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
It's because he's framing it so disingenuously.
Mm-hmm.
They say, "I'm a simple man, I see Kani, I-oo-oh, crying emoji." And this person talks about Kani a lot on the server. If you don't understand what that means, I'll put it in the context of one of their conversations. Nur says, "Women lose sexual value as they mature, and men gain sexual value as they mature. This predisposes us to prefer different ages. Exceptions exist, obviously." Shortly after they say,
well, clearly you're the exception.
I have to clarify. That's kind of more like a red pillar talking point. And that's something that Harmful has said in the past.
Has he really?
I don't know why you're highlighting that, but you were literally the guy that was that same like sort of red pillar back in the Gamergate days. So keep
Are you sure he wasn't just
yours...
faking?
I don't care if he was
faking
it. He's a dumbass if he's saying this publicly and then years later it's like, "No, back then it was just a joke. I was a joke."
Well, I was gonna bring up JebCon because like he tried to throw the JebCon thing out to see if people would bite, and it was obviously like a gay op. But maybe he'll say that too was also a gay op just to get people's attention.
Yeah.
Love is unnatural. Embrace Kani. Now that you understand, I'll hop back to that Blue Archive channel post. Someone responds to ask, "How old is she?" Nur says, "Your Honor, she told me she was old enough." The other user responds, "All right, since I'm 13, I'm maybe good for now anyway. Sam." Nur says, "Damn, bro just admitted to being a toddler. At least I'm honest. That's a good thing. I'm going to go ahead and say that interactions like this shouldn't be happening."
See, I would probably ban somebody if they said that. However, that doesn't sound like a serious admission.
It doesn't, but I would ban it just in case.
That's what I'm saying. I would
say, "Are you seriously a 13-year-old?" And they go, "Yes." And I go, "Well, bye."
Yeah.
Bye then. Well, that's just me.
But that sounds like a joke.
No, I know, exactly. It's just like, I don't know, man. I feel like these people are being weird and making weird jokes with each other. I mean, like, the thing is, when I talked to Leaflet yesterday, she's like, "Yeah, my people come from the old days of the internet where people made weird-ass jokes." And I'm like, I wasn't from that section of the internet, but I agree with you that people did make weird jokes like that.
I have to clarify,
because some people mentioned this earlier. Me from general chat.
Some people mentioned this earlier, and I guess they didn't know the context of this, but there is a live stream where Harmful Opinions is videotaping himself as he in public. He's doing the IRL streamer thing, and somebody tells him that he's not allowed to film. And to try and get around this rule of not filming, he says, "Oh, I have to film everywhere I go. I'm a sex offender."
Yeah.
Which was clearly both a joke and it was a way to try and get around this no filming rule. But you can't make jokes like that live on stream and then turn around with like these discords and be like, "Everything in here 1,000% serious."
No, I agree.
Because if we're doing that, then you're definitely a sex offender.
By the way, it was kind of a funny joke.
It's one of
And
those
that's
things.
why
It's like the rules for me, not for me thing, not for thee thing.
Well, the difference is that he wasn't near any kids. That's why it's okay.
He was out in public, so he was near plenty of kids.
You're right. He had the chance of being near multiple kids. I don't know. Maybe we should go back. Maybe we should go back and see if he was nearby kids when he said that.
It's so dumb.
But, as I said earlier, we're going to be very fair. Maybe Leaflet or her mods would agree. Maybe they just didn't see it. So let's look at something mods did see multiple times. Meet Black. On the 24th of September 2025, Black posted a couple of screenshots and said help. In these screen caps, which I think are from VR chat or something similar, someone had added
They are
him
from VR
and asked his
chat.
age. He had told them he's 14. A user in Leaflet's chat makes a good suggestion. Block, report, no bound. But why, says Black. What if she's my age? You don't want to see my username for Meta or the newer messages, by the way. Another user says women don't talk to men online, it's a bot or a man. Black says cap. The good advice user says no one normal is going to chat with you with that username. She's correct about that. The fact that she didn't nope is a major red flag. Also, are you actually 14? If so, you need to be very careful online. True. There's discussion on how to be safe and how using
So far,
Discord
the
that young
server's
is a bad
actually doing
idea.
pretty
Black
good
complains
at
about how he's treated
informing
just because he's a
kids,
kid. And finally,
if it was a
the
kid.
mods are pinged. P-Dog says at moderators, underage user. The mod Crazy responds, okay, we'll make sure to not give them the role for the hentai channel. It is not against the rules to be under 18 here. Just don't be a retard or Tylenol user. Geo says Crazy is my favorite mod. P-Dog posts a meme. And another mod called Dackerbird says, also, don't get groomed, kid. Discord is a dangerous place. Now, there's something I didn't show you. Did you catch that? First, though, let me explain something. I'm censoring Black's name because they claim to have been 14, and currently they would be 15. And that's normally as far as people think about it. But they might also actually be an adult, pretending to be a minor, talking like this. And what would that mean? You don't mess around when stuff like this is happening. You pay attention. Unless you're okay with a kid making themselves a target, or a predator operating on your server, depending on whether they're telling the truth or lying. Now, what I didn't show you were the two pictures he posted. In the first, you just see the person making contact with him in whatever this is. In the second image, though, three things jump out immediately. You've got him telling the stranger he's 14. You can see, though, that the messages are scrolled up a bit. In the top left, you can see that the latest message he sent this person was, can I see your boobs? My opinion, whether he's telling the truth about his age or not, at this point, axe the guy. Get rid of him. Mods have been pinged into a highly suspect conversation.
See,
Surely
my
they
problem
looked
is
at
I feel
these
like
pictures.
it could go either way because I've seen kids that on the internet, unfortunately, that make those kinds of comments, and I don't agree with those comments.
Now, here,
but I
I'm
feel
going to
like it
say
could go
this,
either way.
because I'm going to be the one that's going to say what every guy in the world is thinking. If somebody is 14 or 15, they're probably looking up boobs at some point. I could tell you for a fact, when I was like 12 or 13, the first thing I did was boobs.com. Everyone did it. It's like, stop with this stupid shit that teenagers are not trying to look up boobs and that the only way they could possibly do that is if they're an adult in disguise or if somebody groomed them. You're retarded if you say that, and you know you're retarded if you say that.
Hold on.
It's just every guy can tell you this is true, that at some point
Oh my gosh, it exists.
in their teenage years,
Boobs
they
are the
went to look up
universal
porn.
language.
No, that was my thing. I was just like, I don't know, man. Kids that are over the age of 14 are definitely going to be looking for that kind of shit.
I've said it before. The first anime I ever watched was Bible Black. Not only was I in middle school, I was in Christian middle school. I was in a private Christian school.
That doesn't make it much better.
I know.
It makes it funnier, actually.
And I don't remember exactly how old I was in middle school. I couldn't have been more than like 12 or 13. And you're going to sit here looking me in the face. It's like, this 15-year-old, that's impossible. They could have asked for boobs unless they were groomed or secretly an adult. Shut the fuck up. You know you're lying when you say that.
I'm sorry. I'm done.
I always think about this when people try and do this thing with teenagers. Is there was something like a 16-year-old who got caught sleeping with his teacher, and they brought him on fucking Dr. Phil. And the teacher was like this 25-year-old lady who clearly had no business doing anything with this child. But she kept going like, oh, I love him. And then Dr. Phil goes to talk to the child and is like, do you not feel like how abusive this is? And the kid goes on to explain how, like, he's done all this, like, really weird rapey shit with the teacher. Like, he would have her put on he would have her, like, put on a blindfold and tag out with his friends. And you're sitting here looking me in the face and like, yeah, he's underage. Yeah, she should have had nothing to do with him. he's fucked. Like, he is fucked in the head.
That is pretty fucked sounding. I'm going to be completely honest with you. You know, I could make the argument that the teacher is the one that put him onto it, but like, I don't think the teacher 100% put him onto it. I don't know.
Like,
You can say that some of it, but I don't know. Some kids are just kind of fucked like that. That's weird.
When you've got your hormones going on at that time, you do like a lot of, like, you think of a lot of fucked shit. He was just given the opportunity to actually do it.
Yeah, no, yeah, that's weird.
That kid is definitely going to jail when he gets older. I think he would be in his 20s now. He might have already done it.
What, gone to jail?
Yeah. I didn't keep up with him. I didn't give a shit.
I wouldn't be surprised.
The only point I'm making is stop pretending that teenagers are just like these delicate little wallflowers.
Oh fuck, that is hilarious. I'm sorry I'm laughing so much. Maybe I didn't think about a lot of this yesterday. This is why I'm glad I'm watching it with you.
Amber Paradox with her awful mic said basically the same thing Mizu did when she ripped this video apart. Pretty sure she's around your guys' age. What is Onion's excuse for not getting it? Who's Amber Paradox? You should send me a link to them and I will look it up later.
She's another VTuber. I'm in her server. I'm gonna try and talk to her. She is also LA-based, basically, and she tore this video apart as well. I haven't watched her video yet, but I was told that her video was also pretty good.
Yeah.
So she's an actual real female. So
she's a girl, guy in real life.
That's clearly a lie, Occo. Girls don't use the internet.
Oh fuck, you're right. Never mind.
Anyways, we continue.
It's either AI or it's Indian.
But it gets much worse. On the right-hand side of this second image, Black's Discord is open. Whoever he's messaging says hi. He says, "What's up?" They say, "None much, just chilling, my headache better." He says, "Dubs, would you show thighs? You are 17, right?" Solicitation of lewd pictures from someone he believes to be under 18. Whether Black is actually 14 or an adult pretending to be 14, no. A couple months later, mods are once...
I would agree.
So here's the thing, is nobody in the server mentioned those chats, which to me tells me they didn't see it. And he's like, well, the picture was up there, and this was up in the top corner if they just looked really closely at it. They just didn't look closely.
I will say they probably should have paid a little bit more closer attention to the images then. But like, and that's a valid criticism to have. I think that's the criticism he's trying to have, is that they're not paying attention to what the person is posting. But yeah.
It's so cringe.
Is this the original one? Yes, this is the first. We're going to go through in chronological order, chat.
Again alerted to Black's behavior. He constantly talks about sexual things and his thirst for femboys, and it annoys the other users. Sean says to him, "Seriously, man, stop trying to force your gay femboy shiz onto everyone else to avoid accepting that you are gay." Black responds to an earlier post and says, "My dude, I'm 15. Yagami VT says, "Mods," in all caps. Floating Cheese says, "Mods." Jackie the Frost says, "Mods." Holy Dandere actually tags them, and so does Yagami. Jackie the Frost says, "Underage user." Black says, "It's not illegal." Julio shows up confused. Yagami says, "It's against the rules of the Discord, MF." Julio says, "It's not against the rules." Julio, by the way, is not just a mod. He is Leaflet's producer. You can see that on his LinkedIn, and also here's a clip of Leaflet.
On YouTube, I'm not even the head decision maker. I have a producer handling that. His name is Julio.
They have a giggle about it, and editor seems more accurate. But who am I to argue with the guy's CV? Nun163 says to Black, 15 and you want to F dudes? You're chopped, cooked,
I was told
and
that's
bald,
actually
my guy.
his name.
Black responds, "I already said..."
Who?
Julio. His name is actually Julio in real life. So.
This is one of those dumb things, though, where he's trying to connect it to Leaflet. It's like, well, he's Leaflet's editor or whatever. And doesn't mean Leaflet knows. We just went through this shit with the sender thing. That does not mean that she's psychic and knows everything he does or doesn't do. Like, every fucking time we go through this, it's like, well, they should have known what he was doing. Why should they have known? Like, explain specifically why she should have psychically known what he was doing. Also, just in general, into Discord, if anybody's saying what their age is and it's underage, just ban them in general.
No, I agree. And that's kind of like my biggest criticism when I talk to Leaflet is it's like, listen, if somebody comes around and they say that they're underage, you should probably just ban them, and that should be the end of it. Now, I will say that she told me she doesn't have any control over the server, and we'll kind of walk through that as we go through the third video, but she told me that she doesn't really make moderation decisions in the server. And I actually got some further clarification tonight because I asked her about it. again. And we'll go through it as we go through it. I'm gonna be honest with you. So let's go.
But I'm 15, broski. Holy Dandere says this server is 18 plus, dingus. Black says cap. Julio asks where it says that. Floating Cheese says 15 and already gay and porn addicted. Now Julio is correct, and the presence of minors is referred to in the rules, in a very strange rule. Rule 6. Act like responsible adults. Even if you may not be 18, know that this is treated as an adult server. Lots of ways to interpret that. Here's how Black interprets it. It says you can be a minor, but act like adult. That certainly is what he's doing. Mods are fully aware he's not being stopped. Okay, your life could be a lot easier if you just nuked kids on site and kept a damper on pervert stuff, so if they do get in, it's not going to be the end of the world. Easy for me to say.
I mean, I would agree with that.
My issue is that he says both things at the same time. He says no kids and no not safe for work, back to back. It's like, or just one or the other. Because I can't reliably say just blanket no kids in kind of the world we live in. Because some people do run child-specific channels. Like, there's that one fucking guy that does, like, the toy reviews, who I think he started it when he was a kid.
Yes, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, I think everybody knows who I'm talking about, but I don't know his name. It's like some Asian guy.
Yeah.
And I can't, in good conscience, say that they are not allowed to have child-specific channels, just because I know for a fact some really bad people have, like, made, like, kids channels to specifically target children. Basically being 90% of Minecraft YouTubers.
Oh, I feel sad when you say that because it's true.
All I could say is parents just have to parent their kids better. There's like, everybody says, like, well, what's the solution? That is the only possible solution you can have. Because the only other solution is that we either need to A, neuter the internet to the point it is unusable, or B, every single human being has to sign into the internet the same way the Koreans do with their social security number. And even then, that didn't work, because trust me, I played Korean games all the time with some random asshole's social security number. Don't know what happened to that guy. Hopefully he's doing fine.
Oh, no. Oh, that's terrible. That's actually terrible and unfortunate. How did you... You know what? Maybe I don't want to know how you got access to that.
No, it was the thing back in the day for Korean games. They had like a generator, and it would generate numbers until you found one that was actually a valid social security number.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that sucks. Imagine that you want to play this game and you've already been playing this game, and it's just like, what the fuck?
Yeah, so your two options are, and when I say you have to neuter the internet to the point it's unusable, you have to take away the ability to chat with people, because that is the only way to ensure that kids don't get in these situations.
Well, so by the time we get to the third video, he will say that, like, that's not what he's asking for, and he'll kind of mention it in his second video too. I want to try and be as fair as possible to.
It doesn't matter if that's not what he's asking for, though. That's all. That's the only way he gets what he wants, which is the problem that a lot of people don't understand. Is like, yeah, you might not ask for that. That is the only legitimate way to get from point A to point B.
Unless parents actually do their job.
Yeah.
Right.
Because I'm not a porn-addicted queer who enjoys hanging out and sharing spank bank material with others. So I suppose I need to check my privilege there. I'm not Christian like them, I don't have a Bible study channel, so I guess in my faithless state I'm just blind to the need for this. Now, Black
Leaflet told me that they added that because people kept begging for it, by the way.
Yeah.
I don't think you need a... I just I find it funny, but, like, you know, I guess people can have one if they really want one. Just felt like it to mention that.
He sounds kind of jaded on it,
and this
though.
third time,
He's definitely jaded.
a lot of very, very strange stuff occurs. I've got like 50 screen caps. I'm going to show the whole situation, but I'm not going to read everything. Hello, femboy trans Indian, says Black. Oh, hey, look, it's Nerf from earlier. Mpreg reaction. Nit says not trans and light version. Black asks them, thigh highs? Kazai reports them. tags mods and says, minor acting like a horn dog in general chat. Black calls them a snitch. There's a bunch of continued chit-chat. Black says goodbye, but he doesn't leave. Finally, Julio, Leaflet's mod and employee, shows up. I have a ping here, he says. Black says, I admit, I am the wrongdoer. Time me out, mod. I must learn. Julio says, Julio makes a poll asking, ban the minor, yes or no, and says, your fate will be decided by chat. Other users support it. Black says, a ban is too harsh, sir. Perhaps a warn. Dave Boy shares a picture of Black talking about his sexuality and age. Black says, if it's necessary, then goodbye, people. Julio says, I accept PayPal to change your ban to timeout. I have seen fans of Leaflet say that this was an obvious joke. However, Julio has in fact accepted money to do.
I have to point out, I'm going to go back like an inch here, because this is not the first time he's done this, is this blur that was added in post for some reason.
Yeah, he did that a couple of times. I think he's trying to blur out other people's names. I'm not quite sure why, and I don't think it's explained, but he has done that a couple of times.
Well, this one he's blurring out his name, the miner's name, because that's the miner's.
Oh, yeah, he did a bad job censoring it there. Oh, okay, that makes sense.
And instead of taking down the video and redoing it, he just put like little blurs on it, and not even very well, because like
I've seen fans
it stays.
Yeah. By the way, I did want to point out, because I asked Leaflet like about the poll thing, and she told me, she's like, well, in the Discord, they really don't like banning people. They want to keep, they want to be as lenient as possible. And my thought process, well, it's a minor. In my personal opinion, you should just ban him, you know, in my personal opinion. But like from what she says, just like they really don't like banning people, and they would like to warn as much as possible, is what she said.
What I would tell her, and I guess you could tell her if you haven't already, is she would need to put her foot down and say, look, if somebody in here is a confirmed minor, they are banned off rip. If not, I'm not staying in here.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not like co-signing my name to it.
No, I did tell her, I was like, listen, you got to take care. You got to take care of the minors thing, because it's going to lead to more problems in the future, because you do have, it's purely because you have other channels that are made for more adults. You probably should just like say, nope, no minors, period.
Yeah.
Again, as she has told me, and she actually kind of showed me, she doesn't get to make the final say. She has some form of moderation powers, but like in the end, they get to choose what to do, and she just kind of doesn't. I would say that you should be harder on it, but at that point, it's up to her to figure out what she wants to do.
Was an obvious joke. However, Julio has in fact accepted money to do things on the server using his mod powers before. For instance, he accepted $5 over PayPal to give someone else a name change. His PayPal link is not exactly hidden, so what would the punchline of that joke have been? Getting paid by this person who says they're a kid and is behaving like that to let them stay? I don't get the joke, and I don't find it very funny. Black says,
I'm going to be honest,
I
think it is a
Julio
joke.
says, we all know you.
It is probably a joke, yeah.
It's clearly a joke. He's doing the same thing again, the kind of the theatrical overplay it. And I mean, $5 over a change in a name, it's like, okay, it's harmless compared to like the joke itself of pretending to be bribed to not ban someone.
Yeah.
You steal your single mother's card for Robux. Black says very well. Julio then offers for anyone to PayPal him 20 to stay. Leaflet's employee is trying to sell the server continued access to someone who says they're a kid and, quote, acts like a horn dog. This is one of the most insane things I have ever seen on Discord. You know, if you think about it.
The only way you can say this is or isn't a joke is if he accepted money to do it. And if he didn't accept money to do it, then it didn't happen, therefore it was a joke. And again, this is the same guy that in public, as a joke, said that he was a sex offender. Well, man, that's a pretty fucked up joke. You can't say shit like that, especially like out in public where kids are around. It's so dumb.
But it's really the parents' fault that my producer is auctioning children in my Discord. Then Black ends up saying, goodbye now, I will send myself out. Julio responds, go on, do it then. The users continue to chit-chat about this and that until eventually they talk about Black again. The 15th Watcher says, hello everyone, how are y'all doing? Dave Boy says they kicked out a miner, so fantastic. Well, rather he surrendered. The 15th Watcher says, yeah, I know, he won't get out of my DMs. Dave Boy says, question mark. Why? Asks Ordo. 15th Watcher responds, he keeps saying sus things about me despite me not being a miner. What? Did he need $20? Asks Dave Boy. Kiss of Envy
By the way,
says,
I was told the 15th Watcher guy was banned.
Yeah.
So he was taken care of, I was told.
His OP. 15th Watcher says he's a simp and keeps wanting me to send thigh pics. Dear viewer, please remember this. Sounds like you should have blocked him a while ago. WTF is his issue. In response to the block button suggestion, the 15th Watcher says, I feel too bad for him. As before with this person, what? Dave responds quizzically. Kiss says he's a minor though. No point in talking to him. The 15th Watcher says he is so desperate. Kiss says he needs to find friends his own age, not adults on the internet. Dave Boy says, do not negotiate with horny little boys that want femboy thigh pics. 15th Watcher says, good point.
Yeah, but he replies to that to something else. You could see that he's replying it to somebody else. He's replying to the needs to find friends his own age, not adults on the internet, not the horny little boys thing.
Yeah.
Also, Internet Sim asked for $20. Leaflet's mod is Slenderman confirmed, especially since minors are involved.
Guess they just never really thought about this. It really is complex, isn't it? They briefly discuss how Black was doxing himself to them. I don't know if that's true or not, and I don't trust these people to be able to check. Dave Boy says, do not porn brain the youth, you made the right call. And the next message is from Julio, the mod. Leaflet's employee, the one called the producer who seems to be an editor. Given the conversation he's been watching, what do you think he says? Take a guess. 3, 2, 1. He has not been banned yet. The other users had to continue to work to convince him to finally ban Black. Finally. It's over, except for one thing. Do you remember that person who said, oh, they didn't want to block him because he's so desperate. He's constantly trying to riz them, begging for thigh pics. After what appears to be the moment of the actual ban finally happening, that person goes on to talk about how he's constantly trying to date them. They know he's constantly trying to flirt with adults. By the way, this idea that, oh, if two people say they're underage, doing that stuff together is fine. No, that's exactly how sextortion happens. That's how predators get their victims. Besides the point,
Again,
though,
like I
if
said,
Black
this
is the age
person
they
was banned, I believe.
Yeah.
They sound like a troll as well, like they're intentionally trying to rile things up. Oh, it's good that they were banned.
say they are.
Also, chat's mentioning that Resident Evil 9 just released. We'll get to hear people complaining about that tomorrow.
Indeed.
Which this person certainly believes, something I think is pretty damn bad has occurred. 23 minutes after the actual ban, the 15th Watcher says, I already have dread thinking about my past interactions with him. I sent him a fully covered and clothed thigh picture once to get him to shut up. I fear it made it much, much worse. I never imagined I'd find myself saying this, but apparently it needs to be stated. If someone on the internet claiming to be a child is pursuing you, do not send them pictures of your thighs, clothed or not. And the people observing this, including Julio, Leaflet's mod and employee, apparent editor, producer, so on. This is just normal to you people?
I think the depravity is too far, chat. I think it's gone too far. I think this is what you get. This is the fruit of degeneracy. That's what this is. It's the absolute fruit of degeneracy and depravity.
Is that all he had to say, that whole video?
Yep, that's the first video.
I just don't think there's much actually going on there. There's definitely none of it has to do with Leaflet.
No, none of it has to do with Leaflet. Absolutely no. And here's the thing. It's just like, if you want to be like, hey, Leaflet, I see a problem in your server. You should take care of this before like something happens. Like that would be a good thing to do. You should approach her and talk to her about it. But instead of doing that, these people just decided to take the worst possible interpretation and make a video saying, oh, Leaflet is allowing sextortion and for people to be auctioned in Discord servers. And I'm just like, excuse me?
Yeah. This is something where the first thing you're supposed to do is you go to the person who you suspect owning the server, which is Leaflet, and say, hey, this is happening in your server. Like, would you comment on this? You know?
Mm-hmm.
Or if you believe that the person themselves... Here's the thing. You have two responses to this that should be normal. Either A, you think that Leaflet doesn't know, so you go to Leaflet to talk to them about it. Or B, you believe Leaflet does know and you believe they're a pedophile, in which case you shouldn't say anything publicly. You should get the police involved. The fact that you don't take either solution means that you're just doing this for clout.
No, I agree. It's just like, I said this multiple times yesterday, and when we talked about the Nick Andrews thing, it's just like, you've already fucked up, because instead of trying to get the police involved, which you should do in these situations if you actually think something like this is going on, you're just choosing instead to make a video, throw it out there, and then let like a whole bunch of people hide evidence. If they are actually, like, if you actually think that Julio or any of these other people are horrible people, good job. You've just given them all of the things that they need to clean up the server, which they've been doing, by the way. They made it to where you couldn't talk in general chat for quite a few hours earlier today because while they were cleaning things up and making things better. And so it's just like, congratulations, if these people are actually evil people, you made them get away with it.
Yeah.
Congratulations, I hate you.
There was somebody's chat I wanted to read, but I kind of forgot where it was.
Fair enough.
Oh yeah, no. Somebody mentioned the children yearn for the auction house. There's also the fact of how he phrases it. Like, there's certain clickbait you can do, and there's certain clickbait I believe you can't do. And saying like they're auctioning children, like, fuck off.
I feel like that opens you up to liability, because that's just not true at all.
Yeah. But here's the second one. The second one's only 5 minutes. So this is, and I'm still doing 1.25 because fuck these.
I uploaded a video which, amongst other things, pointed out an individual in Leaflet's server who just a couple months ago was talking about how another user who claimed to be 15 was trying to rizz them up, begging to date him, begging for pictures, so on and so forth. A mod and employee called Julio was clearly reading this conversation and stepped in to say that the guy saying he's 15 has not been banned, only banning him later under more pressure from the users. A little while later, the user who said this person who claims to be 15 was pursuing them explained that they once sent him a picture of their thigh, fully clothed, to get him to shut up. And I suggested that this is totally insane, clothed or not. In Leaflet's community, this appears to be the main thing that was picked up on, and people demanded action. A mod who goes by Precure in Leaflet's Discord actually took it
By the way,
very
I would like to
seriously.
state really quickly, apparently Precure, everything that you're about to read, Precure intentionally said to get into this response video. So he is intentionally fucking with harmful opinions just to get this into a response video. Just throwing that out there before you see anything that is said. That is what I was told happened.
They even went as far as calling it grooming. Here is what Leaflet's mod had to say about the 15th watcher, the person who sent the photo. 15th is the one getting groomed here, bros, and posts evidence in the form of the person who claimed to be 15 saying, "Wanna go out, I have super good riz." Perhaps that's irresistible to people like you. I would simply not send the child a picture of myself, of any kind. Prior to that, Precure was complaining about my video, calling it bad faith and complaining that it doesn't give them a clear idea of anything wrong happening. And they in fact have counter evidence that I suppose they're upset I didn't include. You see, they have evidence that the child was asking for it very aggressively. Someone asks Precure what they're trying to prove, and they explain that they're proving it's a 15-year-old taking advantage of that person. There's no power imbalance because they're both retarded. I was told this was a based VTuber community, but that is literally the wokest thing I have ever heard in my life. Goth asks, where's the controversy? Precure says, they're trying to get us to ban the retard who got groomed by the minor, in response to the earlier post about there being
So I will say this, and I've said this in the past. I do, just in general, I don't like jokes like this, even if you're trying to troll him, because the troll here is you're making yourself look like an idiot. And at
I would agree with that.
At some point, intentionally looking like an idiot just makes you an idiot.
Mm-hmm. No, I would agree with that. That's fair.
being no power imbalance. Kiss of Envy says, forget the power imbalance then. The fact a legal adult is sending any sort of provocative pics to a minor is a problem. Precure responds, I mean, he's 15. It's not like he's grooming an 8-year-old. Julio says, guys, stop asking for pictures of people. Kiss responds, even if it's a clothed thigh pic, it's a liability for an adult to be sending any kind of pics to minors, honestly. It's a liability to everyone. Julio says, I agree, which is why I asked when did it happen and why he wasn't banned, or at the very least told to stop being stupid. As I showed at the start of this video, it happened 2 months ago and they weren't banned because you were in the conversation and chose not to do that, Julio. Ultimately, Precure does ban the weirdo, but not because of any of that, because of the worst thing, of course. The hypocrisy. I banned him because he was staunchly an anti-pedo Andy, but also DMing teenagers. You can't be both of those at the same time unless you're projecting and actually a pedo. So long as you do that stuff and say it's good, you're clear? What is wrong?
This is, I've seen this part. He's retarded for even trying to like fight about this. I have no idea what he's trying to say here.
Yeah.
And this one, I think he's just retarded.
Mm-hmm.
Base Bird for 5, the most bombastic sensationalism and harmful videos that I've ever heard. My goodness, this is peak tabloid journalism tactics, in my opinion. And Internet Zen Master for 10. Precure, we do a little trolling. Leaflet is definitely right about her mods coming from the old school net. It usually works better when you're anonymous and don't have a username attached. And Scavenge for 5. The PDF hunters that do this for clout, since it can potentially mess up a real investigation, should be hit with being a vigilante charge. You wouldn't be able to, really. There's nothing you could do.
I think that'd be hard to do. I mean, I would agree with you. I just don't think that would be very possible.
wrong with all of these people? I feel like this server has been created to make me lose my mind. The child auction from the last video had me sitting at my computer, unable to move for like 20 seconds. Stun locked. Now, this was a short video, but you know, when people address things I cover, I should cover that too, right? All these based VTubers are like religious communities too, right? So let's end with a religious message. Do you guys know the story of the flood? That's sort of how I view all the incoming changes and regulations to the internet and all its platforms. The digital world has been allowed to fester and rot entirely, and so what do we get? A digital world-ending event. People like to say this is happening because parents don't do their job. But I have some bad news. That's actually the first part of the argument for regulation and restriction. It goes like this. It's the parent's responsibility. They've abdicated that responsibility. Therefore, we get to step in, create a vacuum, and it...
No, that's not how that works. I see what he's trying to say with this, but he's retarded for even trying to say it.
Okay, why?
He's going, oh, well, you know, people are saying, well, the parents should be parenting their kids, but the parents aren't parenting their kids. That's why we have to do this with the internet. No, the thing is, the parents have to parent their kids. If they don't parent their kids, no one does. And that's end of story. It's just no one does. And that's life. That's something that a lot of people hate to hear. Sometimes life fucking sucks, dude. And stuff doesn't go the way you want it to go. There is no, like, we have to come up with another solution. The government has to step in and create another solution for us. No, there just isn't a solution. Sucks. It happens. Like, we'll stop it when we can, when we see it. But other than that, there is no just solution. If you keep fishing for a solution, you will eventually come to the spot where everything is just censored to hell. And I think this comes from him being a Britbong and not having the United States mentality of someone who would sacrifice a bit of freedom for a bit of safety deserves neither. Which is the thing in America. For people outside of America that don't know it, it was a establishing principle of our Constitution was that people who would sacrifice their freedom just to get a little bit of safety don't actually deserve to have freedom or safety. And
I wholeheartedly agree with that.
Yeah, and as a Britbong, I don't think he gets that. I think he's like, no, we have to get rid of some freedoms because safety. We don't have more safety. And I think this happens with all. I hate for some of the Britbongs in the chat who may think you're a little based. Every Britbong I've ever talked to has eventually ceded some level of freedom for something they didn't like. I always think back to, like, I really hated Sargon for a while, and I still kind of do, because he would do this thing where he would talk about how important free speech was, and then he would go, well, hate speech isn't technically free speech, so it's okay to censor that. Like, there's always a line for the Britbongs where they're just like, we can cut this off.
It's just like, no, we don't. How about you just, like, be a normal human being, please?
Yeah.
It will be filled. You're not countering them. You're agreeing with them, dipshit. We never had much of a chance against it, but the only chance we did have was to develop a culture of zero tolerance for this shit. To be able to say, no, actually, you don't need to replace the role of the parents. The basic duty that every adult has towards protecting children is enough, just like it is in real life. It should be enough to just go after and deter the people who have done and would do something wrong. That's all we need from you, power. Thanks. We're not savages. This isn't hell world, but it is. But the most basic values have gone out the window. Our culture in real life is a rotting patchwork, and online it's worse. Essentially, none of this will be happening if people could just simply not be totally insane. The fault of the parent is negligence. Whether or not anything happens to their kid, they have done something wrong if they aren't looking after them. The fault of the person who does things with or to that kid is what they have done. The fault of the observer is inaction. It is good to do things about that which you are able. And not only that, to not do so creates space. Space for power to creep in. You guys are gamers, right? How has the games industry historically countered government intervention? They don't just go, oh, parents should be able to control this. Oh no, guess we'll get regulated the f***. Nothing I could do, dude. It's actually the fault of people who pointed out that kids gambling is bad, right?
What's funny is he's completely wrong about this, because the reality is the only game industry section that is even remotely pushed back against censorship is Steam. It's like, well, how has the game industry handled this? They didn't intentionally. it's not because they were scared of government intervention. It's because companies like Blizzard, like Ubisoft, like EA Games, they don't give a shit at all. They, like, factually, they just do not give a shit. They didn't fight back against it because they didn't care. Steam, on the other hand, has constantly fought back against it, and they've succeeded constantly. They're currently getting into another fight. And every time they have stood their ground.
UK is suing Steam. Yeah, and they're gonna fucking lose, in my personal opinion.
I'm not even sure Steam will reply. I don't think they have to. It's
If it's in the
UK.
UK. Well, I think if it's the UK, the worst that they can do is just say, okay, you can't use Steam if you're in the UK. I think that's the worst that can happen.
Yeah. Thank you, Ebonics King, for 5. This is why our forefathers separated us from Britain. We wanted to decide our own fate, and we actually like flavor in our food. But no, it's stupid.
That would be
It is very stupid.
retarded. Even if you don't personally care, like the games industry certainly doesn't, you're going to get rammed up the ass with that strategy. And that's the strategy we've collectively chosen for years and years and years. So guess what happens to us? You can argue as much as you want that jumping out a window shouldn't hurt you, but eventually you're going to hit the ground, and blaming others will do little to heal your shattered.
His whole argument here is, no, we can't have freedom, because if you have freedom, then somebody's going to come in to try and take it away. That's because you're not American and you don't understand this. In America, when someone comes to take away your freedom, you show up to their door with a gun and you say no. And that's the end of the conversation.
Pretty much. Pretty much.
That was how we established our country. That is the basis of our country.
Is we decided we're not willing to.
And the thing is, we can do that in other ways. Like, the, fucking... he would hate me to use this example, so I'm definitely going to use it. The Blue Archive community absolutely reamed the Korean government because they were pissed about what the Korean government was doing to their game.
Uh-huh.
Like, we can actually make change in this stuff.
No, I would agree. I would
Such
agree.
a dumb argument. Did we kill a spear too?
I don't know, did we?
I'm still alive.
Okay. Do you have thoughts?
He's retarded.
I mean, that is a thought, yeah.
I mean, I'm not surprised he's from the UK, and as a descendant from the UK, I'm sorry, my retarded uncle is retarded. That's why he's going bald.
But Australians are the criminals that got sent out of the UK, so you have a little bit of rebellion in your blood.
Technically, my family bloodline actually came from immigrants from the UK. So I'm not actually from the prison colony, because I've got the family book tree, so I know where mine came from. It's from the UK, but it's from basically people that just migrated because they want to work.
Mm-hmm.
Fair.
So I'm special.
You're very special.
But,
You willingly went to the prison island.
Yep.
and then the last one is this...
I mean, we foresaw the UK doing shit all.
You want to watch this last one? That's 30 minutes.
Yes, this is all about me and Leaflet.
Okay.
Yeah, put it on
It's going to be a
1.25.
hefty intro on this
Did it stay on 1.25? It did.
one, boys, but I'm sure someone in the comments will provide a timestamp if you want to see where I start looking at Leaflet's comments. Over and over, in response to my last couple of videos in comments and elsewhere, I see people very upset that I'm blaming Leaflet for this stuff that was done in her Discord. I feel there's been a misunderstanding. I said Leaflet should address it. I didn't say answer for. I didn't say be punished for. I said it's something I'd like to see her address, as in give
You
attention
technically did say answer for in your first
and fix.
video.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's a lie.
Also, you put Leaflet's face all over this, so you can't say that. Also, your first one is still titled Leaflet's Degenerate Discord.
I don't know who else you want to respond to it other than Leaflet herself.
Yeah.
That just sounds incredibly disingenuous.
And like, again, you put her face all over it.
In my
Yeah.
first video, I showed an example of someone who says they're 14 and 15, repeatedly talking sexually with other members in a mixed-age Discord, having attention drawn to them over and over and over again, and being allowed to remain. When they were finally banned, it was only because of pressure that was kept up by the people who wanted this kid gone. And I made the suggestion of simply banning minors. To quote myself, I said, "Your life could be a lot easier if you just nuked kids on site." This wouldn't even actually be a new policy. It would be a rollback. You can see in 2021 that they used to do this. They used to get rid of any kids they knew about. So this is originally an 18+ server that at some point they decided to open up to kids. I don't know when exactly or why, and my obvious suggestion is to go back to that. I don't think that's too crazy or evil
So I
or
know
unfair
why.
at all. People have touched
Leaflet told me.
Uh-huh.
And I don't necessarily agree with this opinion. This is just what she told me the mindset was. They don't want kids to go to Discord servers that like would be full of trans individuals and trans ideologies, and they would like to educate kids better. My personal opinion is kids just shouldn't be on the internet, period, and you should advocate for kids getting off of the internet.
Yeah.
But that was kind of what she told me, and I was just like, I don't know. I don't feel like if you want to have a place for kids, then you should probably just get rid of the not safe for work, period.
If
Even if
you
your
are going to
goal is to
make your
educate-
section the space for kids, you have to take extreme steps for safety. And
and have
trust
extreme
me,
prejudice.
you don't want to take on that legal requirement.
No, I don't. And that's why I was like, I don't think that's a good idea, regardless of your intentions. That's not a bad idea. That's a good intention. It feels nice to hear that was what the intention was. I just don't think it's going to work. And
Yeah.
that's why I was just like, don't do this.
a lot about what I'm trying to do to Leaflet. What I'm trying to do is get her to do something like that. Listen to what I say in those videos. Doesn't matter if you can say it's not my fault if what you're doing is letting everything go to shit. That's my repeated argument. I think what I'm suggesting is quite clear. Now, many people in the comments have argued that I can't suggest Leaflet do anything about this because she's not the owner of the server. It's nothing to do with her. And Leaflet can be seen in there saying, I literally do not own this server. Did you know that? She said that a few times, and in 2025 you can see her saying technically it's a fan server. And many people have told me her server is the Patreon one. And this is a common source of confusion. The server I've been looking at is Leaflet's official Patreon server. One of my little minions went to Leaflet's Patreon. If you buy into the £8 or the £39 tier, you will be granted Discord access and Patreon exclusive channel access. When you use the link that Patreon gives you to get that Discord access, it is this server. If it's true that she has no power over it, I think she probably shouldn't be selling people access to it and access to channels within it. Another interesting thing to note, while people point to Leaflet saying she's not the owner, and they say the mods run it, none of the comments or messages I've read say which one is the owner. Other people like Gibbs on Twitter and KF have done similar with other tools as well, but I used a better Discord plugin called Permissions Viewer to take a look. And it turns out that the mod who has the owner role is someone called Asari Mitsuha. Leaflet fans will certainly know who this is. For people not familiar, Leaflet's main channel
Yeah, so
is
her mom owns
Leaflet.
the server.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's Leaflet and Asari. This is the other half. This is Leaflet's mother. This is who the plugin identifies as having the owner role. It also identifies Leaflet herself as having admin privileges, and she has made a unilateral stand against behavior in her server before. Regarding an uptick in people saying slurs about trans people, Leaflet stepped in to say, I'll just say it myself, even though I'm not the owner of the server. While discourse is allowed and appreciated, please be chill about it. We welcome civil discussion, but we do not welcome slurs or direct personal attacks. Discussing cultural or LGBT stuff is fine, but using it as an opportunity to throw slurs around instead of facing the cultural argument itself is unacceptable, even to me. You have the freedom to say these things, but I have the freedom to not like it and to not allow it in our private community. And you can say it somewhere else because I want a place where discourse is based on the content and logic and not on personal insults. She then even says if people are too off the rails, they'll have to make more rules. My plea to Leaflet is, you also have the freedom to not allow kids. Your friends, fans, and people who just generally like you can make all the excuses they want for things that happen as a result of welcoming minors with open arms and your mods being flakes. Would it not be better to simply not have to make excuses at all? Just a kill on site policy. When your users beg you to ban an underage user, when they ping the mods in, they see that the person said it, right click, ban. Instead of umming and ahhing over whether the kid is posting hornily enough for that to be a problem, just get rid. I can't make you, but given what I was shown and then what I saw myself, it would be remiss of me not to suggest it. Hopefully this clarifies things. I don't normally like to dumb it down this much, but it seems necessary in this case. Now I'm going to cover a couple other things people have said in response.
I am going to say one of the big issues is there's been some confusion about which server I'm talking about. Maybe you should actually be clear about it then. I have to start there because he's like, I don't understand why there's all this confusion about it. Because you didn't show what you were talking about. You just said, this is a Discord, this is Leaflet's Discord. And to a degree, we all accepted that it was a Discord about Leaflet. Because we wouldn't assume you would be that dishonest and that retarded to just fake a whole Discord. But then when you get specific about which one we're talking about, yeah, you're kind of fucking up when you're not making it clear that there's multiple ones.
Just to be fair, Leaflet has one Discord. The channels that you get access to are the channels that are in this Discord that are specifically only for Patreon paying members. So there is only one Discord.
Is he
It's
still just incorrect then?
What do you mean?
Because he said it's 2 different Discords.
No, it's not 2 different Discords.
No, but that's what I'm saying. Is he just incorrect still then because it is 2 different Discords? He specifically said they were 2 different ones.
You know what? Now I feel like I need to re-listen to that again because as far as I know, based off of me looking at her server myself, it is one server and one area is for the Patreon members and the rest of it is for the basic people. Although that might be different now because they did so much changing of the Discord server that it could be different. I have no idea.
Yeah.
So but yeah, it's my understanding that there's Patreon areas to hang out in, and yeah.
He's not establishing a pattern of ownership, and he's not establishing where specifically we're looking or what we're talking about.
She kind of talks about that she kind of talks about that in the interview that I had with her yesterday.
A lot of people didn't like that I explained the "uo" post and what that means. I explained because I think most people aren't familiar. So I showed this person explaining that "uo" is what they say when they see what lolicons call cunny, young characters. Young or smaller childlike characters. And they say there's no problem here because there isn't a real child involved. Now they could be lying, but they said this multiple times and were consistent. They said, alright, since I'm 13, I'm maybe good for now anyway, Zam. I don't think it's good for adults to be hanging out with 13-year-olds doing this uo cunny shit and talking together about the cartoons they think
I would
are
agree.
hot. Do you think that's fine? How many 13-year-olds do you chill with in a little chat room and discuss pictures you find sexy with? Wouldn't it be better if that wasn't happening?
And that's why I think that it should be adult only.
I also just realized he never mentions that the kid is 13, but he does mention that the kid claims to be 14 and 15.
Hey, what?
Yeah,
He mentions multiple times when talking about the kid, it's like having kids in your server that are repeatedly claiming they're 14 or 15. Which first off, the kid never actually claims they're 15 anywhere at all. I think Harmful got confused and is thinking about the time he said the kid should be 15 this year. He never brings up the kid saying they were 13 again.
15.
I see what you mean.
And it's just one of those...
in a private DM.
Maybe. It's just one of those things where, like, you end up with him mixing up all this information and not keeping a consistent story. When it's extremely important that we are clear about what we're talking about. And
I'm confused now too.
From the first 5 minutes of this video, we are not clear on the age because you keep fucking it up. We're not clear on the server because apparently there's only one server, but you're claiming there's 2 servers. And one of them is Patreon only server. We're not 100% sure on who has what admin roles, or at least we weren't up until now. Now we're finally sure about who has what admin roles. We're still not really sure what channels we're even talking in. If these are the not safe for work channels, if these are gacha channels, like what specifically are we talking about? And when you're making accusations that somebody is talking inappropriate with minors, you can't have all of these what ifs. Because if 3 or 4 of these start breaking down, suddenly the whole chain breaks down.
Mm-hmm.
Every single thing you have to say needs to be double and triple checked.
Admin doesn't mean ownership. No. I think the argument that is being made, though, is if you are an admin, you can make admin choices. Is I believe with the argument that they are making.
Yeah.
For it to happen by welcoming children, but it's not just the arrangement of the server that causes problems when allowing children. Your mods are a problem too, and their issues range from lacking the capability to deal with the responsibility of running a server that allows children, for instance just brushing off someone acting the way Black was, while claiming to be 14 and then 15, but it goes all the way up to being concerning, like the mod Precure, who's...
See, he said it again, claiming to be 14 then 15. The Black person never claims to be 15 at once in any of the messages he shows us. He's got to be confusing it. Within his first video, he said this year he would be 15, which I don't know how he knows this person's age. which adds some questions to it.
He might just be going off of the age of 13.
Well, no, because the age of 13 was in 2025.
I'm getting confused now.
The age of 13
I wasn't confused yesterday. I am now.
was something like 3/23/2025.
Uh-huh.
So it's physically impossible for them to be 15 if they were 13 at 3/23/2025. So he's just kind of making up the ages as he goes, which is, again, massive problem when we're trying to verify the age.
Address
Yeah,
I just found. Just
yeah.
kidding. Precure says they like being in these videos, and I thought I'd give them a startle. Did you enjoy that? One of the people I pointed out in my first video, who I'm glad to have the scalp of, they were banned, had claimed in the server to have sent a thigh picture to a miner who had been pursuing them. They said it was to try to calm them down, and they said it was clothed, but obviously, hell no. Right-click, ban. Someone says that in your server, they're gone. You don't need to investigate it, beyond confirming that they were making those claims. Precure Hunter, the person who banned them, argued that the adult is the one getting groomed. I left out context. I wanted to see who
They
had
say 15 in the
instinctively
VR
jumped to him.
chat. Maybe they did.
I know that he's going to show more of your video later, but there was no point for him to show a screenshot of Precure in your video. It made no sense that he did that.
I think he just... did you hear that comment where he's like, oh, by the way, I have your address? I think he's intentionally trying to poke at people and freak people out now because he just doesn't like them.
Yeah, but it's not going to freak anybody out. Nobody cares. Because he knows, like, in the commentary community, if you leak shit like that, you're dead. Your channel is fucked. Nuked from orbit.
It's on the first video at 7 minutes and 10 seconds. He shows a private, like, chat thing where the dude says, "My dude, I'm 15."
Yeah.
Oh.
So the age doesn't make any sense.
It seems to be the age just jumps around a lot.
Uh-huh.
Which is the second time he's tried to show a confirmed minor that can't keep their age straight at all.
Immediately defend this. Say it's okay. Say it's a joke. Not check themselves. Just, in their gut, they feel like this is fine and needs to be defended. Who is like that? The answer is Mama Occo.
Kind of feel like that's just another joke right now. I've observed the server myself because I've been in the server. I've been like just sitting in there for months at this point. I never look at it. That just feels like another joke, my man.
As I show more examples, Mama Occo becomes increasingly certain that it's all a big joke. That the mod was saying this to troll me.
Kind of felt like a joke.
Counter evidence that I suppose they're upset I didn't include. You see, they have evidence that the child was asking for it very aggressively. Someone asks Precure what they're trying to prove.
Oh my gosh. He's taking this at face value so hard. Oh my gosh. Chat, I'm autistic as fuck. And sometimes I can't tell when somebody's fucking with me, all right? It's happened more often than I would like to admit, all right? More often than I'd like to admit, okay? But I can tell right there that he is intentionally fucking with him. That's what he's doing.
Mama Occo had been told earlier by the chat that Precure said they were deliberately trolling for attention. He left that as a big if true, instead of simply doing a 2-second search in the server he says he's in. Precure did say they wanted to get my attention and wanted to be in the video, but those posts were like this. I guess they win in the end. Their extended discussions of grooming ethics are not part of that. But before I show
You can't say that. You can't say, oh, well, if they looked in the server, they would see that he actually did verbally say that he was fucking with me. He's like, but that was a different post when he said that he was going to be fucking with me, so that clearly can't be this. Are you retarded?
I'm going to be honest with you. Even if I didn't get that confirmation, I read those posts and I'm like, I don't know, man. I kind of feel like he's fucking with you. Take away the fact that chat told me that. I still feel like it would have been like, I don't know, he's fucking with you. Especially after going through the Nick Andros video, I'm already looking out for people on the internet that are going to be like that. Because people are idiots and assholes on the internet. And spoiler alert, that's harmful opinions too. He's done that shit before too. So I'm confused here. Does you not recognize jokes when they're put in your face? It's only, it's only all right when it's IRL and you're telling people that you're a sex offender, and when you're not. I'm confused.
you those, Leaflet herself went onto Mama Occo's stream to defend this mod and respond to the situation in general. Leaflet talks about the Discord server not being hers.
And you had already told me it's not even your server. Was it started by you, or how does that work?
I can clear it up real quick.
Yeah.
Basically, it's a server, like it's a fan server for the community. I don't get a vote in like who moderation. I don't do any moderation on it.
Interesting. 12th of the 2nd, 2025. I don't personally get involved unless it's just an easy ban, says Leaflet. I don't normally involve myself in Discord since I don't run it, but if I catch you using slurs in a bad faith manner, I will personally send you to the Shadow Realm. 30th of the 6th, 2025. Don't post needlessly edgy jokes. It can get the server in trouble. Fair enough. I do the same with Twitch chat and stuff. So I'm going to have to time them out / remove them, says Leaflet.
Like I don't actually like do any enforcement action at all.
If what I showed was the last time you were doing it, that's only been true for barely over half a year.
In fact, like the funny thing is when it comes to like,
I'm sorry, barely over half a year. Are you aware how long half a year is in internet time?
I'm gonna be honest with you, because I did ask her about that, and again, like I said, she just does not make choices without these people basically approving it first. And you can like be critical of that. I mean, like I was just like, I don't know. I feel like if you're not going to be a moderator, maybe you should actually not be a moderator. But like the way I kind of understood it is that it's like a last resort kind of deal, but she doesn't really do it. And I might be understanding that wrong, so maybe you shouldn't take my word for it. But like the way I kind of understood it is like she is only there if absolutely necessary to do things, but she's not even really there to do anything outside of that, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But again, it is also worth bringing up again that Leaflet says that she's barely in the Discord server. She'll drop a message and then walk out. And so, I don't know, man. I don't know.
I mean, when you get to a Discord server that's like a certain size, like, yeah, people stop paying attention.
Well, it is also worth pointing out, Leaflet's server, and I kind of got this feeling based off of the rebuilding that they were doing. I think that Leaflet kind of jumped up in popularity over like the last year or two. And so she was probably a lot smaller, a lot different of a creator back then before the blow up. And then as the blow up happened, they probably had to make a bunch of changes or probably had to adapt to a couple things. And they probably weren't used to all of it at that point. So I'm willing to believe that like there's a lot of choices that weren't made because like they're just not used to it. I don't know. I could be proven wrong on that, but
also someone says, what does it say to neglect an aspect of your brand and reputation for half a year? It's not a small thing. I could tell you for a fact the Discord basically is worth nothing to most YouTubers. It is literally just a spot for their community to hang out. It is more for the community than it is for the YouTuber.
Yeah.
Most YouTubers pay no fucking attention to their Discord. Trust me, I've seen it plenty of times.
I'd say I pay way more attention to my server, and that's just because I feel bad about not interacting with people all the time than I'm sure a lot of other people do.
Yeah.
My hot take is I think content creators need to get used to not needing a Discord server for their community.
I mean, that's possible, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's too much of a headache.
Like there being younger people on the server, I said like just nuke all of them. Like I don't care, right? I don't care about that.
Oh, I just don't care. Haha, let it happen. Turns out when Leaflet said it's the parents' fault,
that's not what she said.
That's
literally not what she said.
Funny thing is when it comes to like there being younger people on the server, I said like just nuke all of them. Like I don't care, right? I don't care about that.
Oh, I just don't care. Haha, let it happen. Turns out
she literally said the exact opposite. She said nuke all of them.
Yeah, that's extremely disingenuous.
That's not even disingenuous, you're just lying.
No, it is. Exactly.
She specifically says, if there are minors in the server, nuke all of them. And he says, it doesn't matter, just let it happen. It's not what she said. Why would you I don't understand this. Why do people that make scripted content play a clip that's the complete opposite of what they're about to tell you?
You know, at that point,
because it's scripted. You didn't have to play it.
I don't know. It's a good question. That is a good question. It's just like, you know, maybe they just assume their audience is stupid and they might not pick up on that. I have absolutely no idea.
Like, it's scripted content. You didn't have to include that you're wrong.
What's funny is there's a
the
lot of
Leaflet-
things he didn't include that he does lie about. At least one that comes to the top of my head right now. But we'll continue.
How does this get past editing? That's what I'm saying. It's not just him. I've seen it with multiple different people in the commentary sphere where they'll have a scripted video and they'll play something that completely disproves them and they just say the opposite.
Mhm. It's just like, and maybe the excuse will be, well, literally this came out yesterday because this stream that he is referencing is 24 hours old. He put this together in like 12 hours. He slapped it together. I was honestly kind of surprised that it came together that fast because, you know, I go out, I do some shopping, and then people are like, oh my gosh, there's a new Harmful Opinions video. I'm like, what did he respond to? There's absolutely no way it could be about me because I just did my stream 12 hours ago and it's about me. And I'm like, what the fuck? How has this man like decided to just pull all of this together? And when you put that into the context of seeing all these little mistakes that are being made, it's just like, oh, he rushed this so hard.
Yeah.
The parent's fault? She was literally talking about her mother, the mod. This is bullshit. Grow a spine. You're happy to earn money off of it directly as your official Patreon server. You should also be happy to not let insane shit happen on it. Getting rid of it or actually ditching it is also an option.
I don't really have anything to do with like which channels get added, or anything like that. Really.
3 days ago, your mod Crazy claimed otherwise. I don't have any control, just the authority
I wanna
channel
say-
stays and the
I was told that Crazy is wrong, and Crazy. I was told that Crazy was basically wrong about that because someone pointed that out, and she's like, "Yeah, the Crazy is wrong. I'm gonna go talk to him about it."
Yeah. I also don't know, like, why he, like, he puts that up in, like, a 0.2. Like, chat, like, look how... supposedly this is, like, a super big bombshell for him and what he's saying, and look how long it's on screen.
Or anything like that. Really.
3 days ago, your mod Crazy claimed otherwise. I don't have any
It's
He
up
didn't
and it's
even
gone.
read it, by the way.
It's up and it's gone.
I would have loved it if he read it. You know.
Yeah, like, I don't know why are you showing it then if you're like have it on screen for 2 seconds and then get rid of it. I also thank you, Will Spain, for 2. Don't believe your lying eyes. Him probably.
control, just the authority to demand a channel stays and the ability.
Can I
at
just
any
say, by
time
the
to
way, I
revoke-
just thought of this.
Uh-huh.
I think the thing that also just kind of like makes me a little more irked about this is a lot of these people have to understand that the individuals that are going to be listening to their videos are just going to be that. They're not going to be actually looking at what's on the screen. Most people these days, I don't feel like take the time to pause and read all of the screenshots that are actually put on the screen. Now, to be fair, I didn't read every single screenshot I put on in my most recent Cinder video, but I read the important ones that got the context across to what I was doing. When you willfully omit information that would either transform the context or add to the context, it just makes it feel to me like there is bad faith going on and you're just trying to throw something out in the hopes that the people that are listening don't actually take the second to look at the video.
Or
I mean, maybe I'm wrong,
people
but,
that are looking at the video just don't have time to read it and they're just like, oh, it probably says what he said it said.
you know, I just don't like that because I think these days everybody knows that like not everybody's going to have the chance to sit down and actually read everything that goes out there, and I don't like that.
Book your blessing in association. The claim that you can only make suggestions when you do have the power to force them doesn't mean anything. Leaflet then confirms that her mom owns it.
But did you start it, or people are saying that your mom actually owns it?
The reason my mom owns it is in case that it's to protect from like a crazy mom. Okay, so
Nothing to do with me, it's my mommy.
You didn't even let her respond. Like you didn't let her actually make the statement.
No, he didn't.
He just like is trying to
Right.
make fun of her for stumbling over her words.
And then he shows something that, in my personal opinion, is kind of cringe. But yeah.
Sorry, how old are you?
I'll explain this.
I can actually. She's probably in this clip making fun of the
mommy.
Yeah, she's making fun of the TikTok NPC people.
Do you think that's what she's doing?
No, I know that's what she's doing because me and Dama watch this exact girl.
Oh, really?
I know. I've seen
Fair.
this exact clip. It's gonna be preceded like before he plays the rest of it. Her just like moving her hand robotically back and forth, going gang gang, gang gang, gang gang. And I could tell what Leaflet's doing. She's making a joke about how like these videos only appeal to like literal brain dead toddlers.
Oh my gosh. I didn't even I was just like in my head, I was like, you know what? I can write this off as this is cringe, even though I know that Leaflet is not into that stuff, because Leaflet explained to me on stream what she was into and it was kind of funny. But like now thinking about it, it's like, oh my gosh, you're right. Oh.
Yeah, that's a TikTok
Holy
NPC
shit.
girl.
I kind of want to,
Yeah, that's
like
what I
a
thought the
bunch
same
of
as what Mizu said.
a bunch of people like showed this as a grand indictment that Leaflet is a horrible, weird, and maybe a pedophile. And I'm just sitting here like, I don't know, it's weird, but like I don't care. And now that you're mentioning
When I
that,
saw it, I thought to myself, what is the context to this? And then when you look at the actual clip itself that she's reacting to, it's very clear that it's a mocking of it, which shows that Harmful Opinion is deliberately just trying to clip it in as a deceitful way as possible.
Try
to be fair,
try and tune out Leaflet and try and listen really closely to the black girl in the background.
It's my mommy. Sorry, how?
yeah, no, yeah.
Yeah, you could immediately see her doing the weird motions. She was
woman is
making fun of the
definitely-
TikTok NPC trend.
Yeah, no, yeah. That
How old
I
are
still
you?
thought the Binky thing was weird, but it's just like under that context, it's like, hang on a moment. Are you guys actually like looking into the context of why this is being? Because here's the thing: that clip was being passed around on the internet. I'm willing to bet that Harmful Opinion saw that clip and decided to include it as some way of trying to indict her as a worse individual. And he didn't actually look at what the original context was, which I think that if he did, he would know that what she's doing is she's making fun of these individuals. And instead, he's just choosing to include this because he thought, oh, this would be an easy own. I don't know, man. Now looking back at it, that's kind of insidious to me. I don't know.
Yeah.
I might have to ask her still about it, though, because I didn't ask her about it.
Yeah, no,
I didn't care.
Yeah, no, she's making fun of the TikTok NPC people.
That's fair.
Thank you, Heavenly Jester, for 5. This dude equates all anime to pedo in a tweet. This dude is unironically just an anime hater that is a clout chaser. All of his videos are callouts. You know, if you go to his channel, first off, like, make another thumbnail, dude. Holy shit. But it's just all, like, trying to call people pedophiles lately.
Uh-huh.
That's all he does.
There's been a lot of drama in the Discord in the past,
Uh-huh.
and it's to protect. It's so that so my mom doesn't do anything either. Like she doesn't do any like moderation or anything like that.
She doesn't do any moderation? What did your mother mean 10 days ago when she said, ban that guy? 4 days ago when she responded to a mod
I mean, that's a
that was,
question, but
It's
like,
only
I assume moderation is in the idea of you actually taking action, not asking to take action.
Well,
I don't know.
I would also say, like, sometimes stuff is, like, really blatant, and the fact that he ignores that, because Leaflet said that before in one of the messages, where she's like, unless it's something really blatant, I don't do anything.
Uh-huh.
Like, if I wake up and I get, like, a bunch of pings in Discord, and it's somebody posting, like, gore or something, I'll immediately be like, okay, ban. And
Yeah.
that doesn't mean I'm, like, actively policing Discord constantly every hour of the day. It means, yeah, that was really blatant, and it was really disruptive. Ban.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have to ask anybody a question about that. I don't have to get anybody's opinion on whether or not this person should stay. It's just blatant, and I can ban them.
Yeah.
And that means so much more if it's a Patreon Discord that people had to pay to get into. Because then you
Well,
do have
again-
to ask questions about, like, do I really need to ban this person because technically they paid to be here?
Well, again, I would say that not all the channels are Patreon. It's only a few of them, and I'm going to assume that anytime a ban happens, it's probably in the non. I'm assuming a lot here. Maybe I shouldn't, but that's going to be what my assumption is that not all of this enforcement action probably happens in the Patreon area.
Maybe.
They can't even view the Patreon area. I have no idea. But you are correct.
in case that way we can give the ownership to like a different person.
Yeah, my mom's the owner. She doesn't moderate except when she does, and she's only the owner so that she can make someone else an owner.
Like, in case there's like a crazy, it's like an ultimate contingency
Okay.
of like if the mods go out of control, we can like retake everything and give it to a different person. Does that make sense?
Makes perfect sense. That's called being the owner of a Discord server. That's called having the final say. That's called being in charge. They chit-chat and Mama Occo says he'd just ban minors, you know, to avoid...
I think you're retarded.
He's a Brit Bong, so what do you expect?
I think a really good example, right? He's kind of like the sheriff of a police station. Because the sheriff just kind of sits in the police office most of the time. He's not normally actively patrolling the streets like the other police officers. But he is technically the final line and the ultimate in charge above everybody, right? Or
You
like
hope.
I think this goes for any job, like your manager at a store. The manager at the store is technically above everybody and the final decision maker. However, 99% of the time, he is not making any decisions. He just has everybody else independently making decisions, and he just trusts that everybody else is independently making the correct decisions. And occasionally he'll get up and he'll look through everything and make sure everything's fine. But for the most part, he just trusts everybody to do what they're supposed to do. Like it's
Call the
kind
sheriff.
of it's kind of dumb to be like, no, the manager is knowledgeable and responsible for every individual decision every employee makes. It doesn't matter if there's nobody above the server owner. That's the point. You're trying to make the allegation that the server owner has like all of the information at all times, which is just patently retarded.
Mhm.
It's not something you even have to like address really. It's like you're stupid. Yeah, they're not omniscient. You can't be like, this person needs to be omniscient and aware of everything that goes on in their kingdom.
Or make choices. I think the argument is they're saying that Leaflet is trying to claim that it's not her responsibility, and is just like, well, yeah, technically not all the time it is. I'm sorry. If she is the final say, then okay, but like if she's not there all the time, I don't know. I think I'm kind of losing it, so let's just continue. My brain is dying right now.
problems. Yes, that's my videos. Correct, that's the point. Leaflet explains her server's moderation culture.
I guess what I would say is the mod culture on our server is we don't ban right away. Like we have a very our policy on banning stuff, and like you can maybe make the argument that like this should be a case in which like the person just gets automatically banned. But we are hesitant to ban people.
Sorry, we? Anyway, no, not people. You're hesitant to ban kids. I watched your mods not exactly be hesitant to Holocaust a bunch of people they were suspicious of. You guys are hesitant about certain bans.
Why?
Because of
you have to prove that they're not hesitant about other bans. You can't just be like, oh, they're only hesitant about certain bans. Okay, well, show me the bans where they're not hesitant about. Prove to me that they're exclusively hesitant about quote-unquote kids. And he's shown like nothing about any bans at all.
I mean, I guess the one argument I would say is when it came to voting whether or not they ban somebody.
Yeah.
But that's the only thing I can say.
well, it's because of reasons of people getting brigaded or like censorship or anything like that. Like we kind of want people to be able to talk and be more comfortable.
I like to let people talk too, but what video was Mama Occo just watching before you hopped on? What was that about?
Okay.
So that might be, maybe that's a bad idea. I don't know. But
When it's someone who says they're a kid wilding out, certainly yes. Leaflet says again, it's their culture, it's how it is. Mama Occo, for some indecipherable reason, finds this to be incredibly valuable information.
See, what's interesting about that is I feel like people would have found that out if they had maybe asked.
No, I know. I watched it happen. My video's about that. They do be hesitating. The people coming to the UK say it's just their culture too. They see about Nicandros' tweets for a while and yap about a bunch of other stuff. They do a whole bunch of Nuxtaku sweeping. It's actually crazy. And then they get on to mentioning my video. Leaflet decides to complain about a visual gag.
which was like the thing about the I'm banning him because he's anti like pedo, right? And so like they showed that part of it first to like see that in your mind and then showed the context after.
It's called a joke, sweetie. Must go on Twitter now.
You can't do those kind of jokes when you're making serious content.
You can't do that, my man. Oh my gosh, fucking Brett Bongs, man. You can't do that.
Yeah, he's like, especially because you specifically said it was not a joke. You specifically said this was a call out to show his character, and now you're like, sweetie, that's called a joke. No, it's not. You were very clear and very explicit that you were showing off his character. Unless you're gonna like take down that video and clip that part out.
Comedy's legal again. If you show the context, it changes it. Yeah, I showed the context, dipshit. You've successfully explained the joke. If I hadn't, sure that would be a problem. But I love how that is treated like some kind of Israeli psyop. While Noxtaku EPIing hundreds of thousands of kids is just, you know, whatever. It's me who's seeding things in people's minds. Leaflet then tries to argue that what Precure said was a joke.
Like that. A lot of them are like that, and it's kind of like he's trying to make a point that if you're he's making a joke basically that if because he's like this and then he's also talking to them, he's probably projecting, so he probably is actually a PDF, right? And then that was the whole joke.
Unfortunately, Leaflet, Precure has already addressed this, and it was not a joke. Nine, who was being silly and just showed the start of the gag, asked, "What did you mean by this?" The mod explains their whole statement. Basically, if he was super pro-ped or anti-ped, then I knew he had grooming on the mind and wouldn't make that mistake honestly, presumably referring to sending the picture. If he had never mentioned lollies or anything like that and he was retarded, then it's plausible that he could have made that mistake.
No, that's actually fair. And he's gonna get mad at me for saying this. No, that's actually a fair take on it.
How so?
Because he's basically saying, I think the guy's just retarded.
Oh, okay.
The problem is, he's saying basically, is that if he takes a stance on being pedo at all, then he's basically showing that he is aware of what he did, of what he did could mean, right? So like, it's completely different if you say something sort of racially insensitive to somebody and you have never had any sort of you've never had any interaction with other races before, right? You could just not know that that's inappropriate to do. But if you were a like anti-racist advocate and then you start going around saying racist stuff to people, well, clearly you should know better. Because this is your thing. You are clearly aware of what you're saying means and why it's a bad thing.
Yeah.
And that seems like what Precure is getting at is, well, if he's just retarded, then he's just retarded. But if he actually does take a stance on being pro or anti-pedo, then he is clearly aware of what he's doing and how it could come across and why it could be damaging. I still think they're being too lenient with him. I would just ban it and call it a day.
I agree.
But I see where he's coming from. It makes sense. It's not actually that complicated. Like I said before, Occo, Harmful Onions acts like his shite don't stink. Thank you for the 5, Nakamichi.
Precure justifies spending time to seriously think about this. The drama was basically a necro post, and the kid had already been banned ages ago, so it's not like it was time sensitive, and I just wanted to be thorough with my options. And one of the most obvious and basic things to do whenever you are in a he said, she said scenario is to at least give each side the benefit of the doubt. I understand how many statements could be taken as just a joke, not seeing it in this one. This is the mod of a server that welcomes children, giving benefit of the doubt to someone who claimed they sent an image of themselves to a minor who was pursuing them sexually. Mama Occo further defends it by saying it's a shit post.
Harmful. Why do you have to act like me when I don't understand a joke? Bro, it's very obvious that this man is shit posting right now.
Leaflet elaborates and says that Precure statements are old internet humor.
Yeah, we just have a lot of like stupid humor. It's like kind of old internet people. Old internet folk, and
A little bit later, they talk about what they think me and people like me are.
Like these people are basically modern day journalists. It's not really like that surprising.
Well, they definitely try to imply a lot of things and do a lot of these things to try and paint a narrative. And
I'm being quite direct. I think that server is an inappropriate environment to welcome children into, and Leaflet's mods are inept. Maybe if you clear house and get better people to run the server, you could keep having kids in there. I wouldn't recommend it though. If you keep these people in charge though, you definitely need a policy of banning minors on site. I mean, even Precure thinks that's obvious. A little bit later, Leaflet and
He can't say this, though, right? Where he's like, well, personally, I just believe that you're not doing things correctly. You're factually not doing things correctly. When you believe you are dealing with a possible predator and you just put it out on YouTube for the world to see with no proper documentation, no proper archiving, you haven't reported it to police or authorities, you haven't reported it to Discord, you just put it out on the internet for fun and entertainment. Also, thank you, Zalvid, for 5. I can't take these people seriously.
No, I can't either.
It's so dumb. He's trying so hard, but he's actively going back and forth between, gosh, guys, I just made a joke. Don't you guys get jokes? Anyways, if any of you believe this isn't a joke, you're an idiot. Like, what's wrong with you?
Can't have a
Mark, I
both.
suggest I should
Yeah.
have tried to interview everyone involved.
I just don't understand that.
personally
agree. What's wrong with asking these people? I mean, like, again, I also, like, I say that assuming that there's good faith of being like, oh, maybe we should reach out. But that's not what I think that these people want. Because if these people actually wanted to actually figure out what's going on, I don't think this video would exist. I think that there would actually be open dialogue, which is something that I've been doing, by the way, multiple times during this process. And I just don't think it would exist. Nobody would talk about it because there'd be open dialogue. People could talk. Things could be addressed. And guess what? If nothing happened, then fine. Go ahead and make a video or go to the fucking police.
Yeah. It also has to be said that a lot of people running these Discords are like also young people that are older teenagers or just like young adults in their early 20s. Just because you're an adult doesn't mean you're intelligent. Just so we can
I would ask.
push that out of the way. Because everybody's like, oh, after you're 18, like your brain is suddenly fully developed and all of your decisions make sense. No, they don't. I forget the exact age, but it's up until like something ridiculous, like 28, your brain just isn't fully developed.
25, I believe.
It depends. It goes back and forth. I think 28 is some of the latest.
Oh, does it depend on race or culture, or is it just in general?
Typically gender.
There. When I
Oh, that was you.
covered, I'll just like say my own shit. When I made the Cinder video, I didn't tell anybody this, but before I started working on the first Cinder video, I DM'd almost every single person involved and asked them if they wanted to talk about it. Nobody ever got back to me, sadly. But like, if I had the ability to say, hey, Shy Lily, can you answer questions about this? Or hey, Bao, I understand you're hurt about this, but can you talk about this? And if they had given me that opportunity, I would have done it. I would have done it.
Yeah.
I don't care how bad it would have made Cinder look. I would have done it because I wanted to get it right.
I'm trying to find the truth, right? Like,
And I sadly never got those
Interview
interviews.
is indeed a tool one can use. My coverage is of what occurred in the Discord server and whether that's acceptable or not. Interviews in this case would be of no value to me and would have no bearing on what I observed. This is like a
Yes, they would, because you're making accusations about different people that weren't directly involved and just saying, well, they should have known.
He just admitted that he's not interested in trying to fix the problem, but more about the content itself, which
Yeah.
he said beforehand that he was trying to just get her to do the right thing, but then retracts it in this statement here. So he's contradicting himself.
Yes.
So annoying.
Yes.
a
The
toddler's
fact that I'm
understanding
half
of
asleep and I can pick up on this just demonstrates how fucking shit he is at his job.
Yeah.
I've not slept for over 24 hours and I can pick up on that hateful opinion. You're doing a shit job.
And again, this is not a live stream on his part where he's just actively reacting to this in the moment. This is a pre-scripted video. Unlike us who have to react to this like on the spot and don't have a script in front of us where it's like, huh, that sounds weird now that I read it a third time.
What's funny though is I do kind of feel like that when I re-listen to my streams.
Yeah, a little bit.
journalism. Not that I would consider what I'm doing to be journalism. If you're concerned about right to reply, the owner of the server I've commented on has access to a massive platform, and I am currently presenting your response where my claims were made. If you want to actually discuss journalism, we can talk about something called doorstepping if you'd like, but I think you'd suddenly be against getting comment from involved parties. Leaflet makes an interesting claim.
The weird thing is really what they're advocating for, and I mean, you know, maybe it is the right idea at this point. They're kind of advocating for an actual like ID system for Discord, to be honest. Like where could it go but that, if that's what you want?
This is a bizarre statement. A key part of my coverage, and in fact, the ending of my second video, is advocacy against overly invasive measures. An explanation that
Yeah, except the problem is your only solution is overly invasive measures. Like, there is no other solution. Like that. And I have to, like, draw that cutoff. Again, like I said earlier, you want all of this stuff to happen. The only way for all of this stuff to happen, overly invasive measures. There is no other option. So you can sit here all day and say, well, I don't want that. Well, that's the only way you get what you want. So at some point, you just have to admit that either your beliefs are out of reach, basically, or you have to just drop them. Pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
The negligence like this is what enables
Also, to clarify, because somebody in chat said Leaflet won't talk to me, so I'll accuse her to get her to talk to me or use her words against to agree with my perspective. What he's saying is, well, she's a public creator, so I can talk about her publicly, which, yeah, you can, but like the situation literally doesn't involve her, and you didn't bother to ask about her.
You just decided to go on the offensive, in my personal opinion, because she is somebody that decided not to have an opinion about another content creator, and people are pissed off that she deviated from that.
Well, he mentioned it in the very first video. This is 100% retaliatory.
It 100% is. Oh, you didn't say what I wanted you to say? All right, I'm gonna go on you and see how badly I can look at you, and I just don't like that.
Also, he tried, I don't know if you saw it, but he tries to skip over what he said and tried to claim that the only way to message Leaflet is either A, public call out, or B, show up to her home address and knock on her door. It's like, or we're on this thing called the internet, and you could send a thing to her called a direct message.
Or an email.
Why are the only two options call out video or show up to her house? Like, what the fuck are you smoking?
it to happen. If parents aren't looking after their kids and other adults aren't willing to do the bare minimum, then where else can we go? There is an alternative. You could do the bare minimum. Leaflet and Mama Occo then do exactly what I said leads to government involvement and private corporations clawing at your data.
If you don't want to hold like parents as being responsible for it, then I don't know how you do it other than that.
Mm-hmm.
Online safety legislation is the government holding parents responsible. It is the government saying,
no, it's not.
No, it really isn't. I'm going to be completely honest with you. I don't know how somebody can say that when we've already got plenty of data from countries that include your own where it doesn't actually work. It fucking doesn't work. In fact, it's fucking busted. And all it does is lead to real adults that don't want to be brought into this kind of stuff, that don't want kids in their spaces having their information leaked to other individuals. That doesn't work.
Well, also, it's just not true. Oh no, that's how you get state intervention, is you say let the parents handle it, because that is the parents handling it. Like it's factually not. That's the state handling it. It's like, well, the parents asked for the state to handle it. That doesn't mean that's the parents handling it, you retard. Also, fun fact, the parents aren't asking for that. There is no data that shows that parents are asking for excessive crackdown on the internet or government ID. In fact, it is resoundingly unpopular with all people. Nobody likes it.
Well, I seem to recall, I don't know if it was the UK or the greater EU, where they were planning to put it in, and then so many people asked for a vote that they had a petition. The petition overwhelmingly said, we do not want this. And then the government was like, I don't care if you don't want this, we're doing it anyway. And it's just like, motherfucker, I'm the people that put you here. Why are you not listening to me?
Yeah. He's trying to say, like, oh no, parents asked for this. No, they didn't. Nobody asked for it. In fact, everybody has publicly said they do not want it. Parents, single people, just everybody is like, no, we don't want it. And the government's like, well, we're just going to do it anyways, because some small percentage of parents do not take care of their kids.
Well, I know that it's so unpopular because in the United States, there have been so many times where these kinds of bills and legislations have been brought up within the last 5 to 10 years. And every single time it happens, people rally and call their senators and their representatives and say, do not vote on this. I will vote you out of office if you vote for this. And then it doesn't get voted on.
He's so dumb. He's just making this up. And it's because he doesn't know anything he's talking about. He is not, that's how you know that he doesn't actually give a shit about this issue or anything that happens to kids on the internet, because he would know these stats and statistics if he cared. But he doesn't know anything about this.
saying it's the parents' job and they haven't done it, therefore we get to step in. Same principle for any attacks by private companies.
Well, holding parents responsible is definitely the option that I think a lot of people are like, oh, but why should the parents?
No, they should. They need to. It is wrong that they don't do that duty, but they don't do that duty. So, what do you do about that?
Nothing. That's
Punish
life.
them. Well, I would say that you punish the adults. You give them education.
I can't
first,
agree
and then you
with
punish
punishing the
them.
adults because the problem is you're going to enter a government overreach where the government is actively telling you how you have to parent your children or they will take your children.
That's
Unless
you know
it
what?
is
That's
a
fair.
direct danger, like provable scientific danger to the children, I can't in good faith say the government has to step in.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. That's fair.
The government's answer is, we do that job instead. When people point out that parents should be doing this and they don't, they never provide a way to fix that.
Because I hate to hammer on this point, it's because there isn't. And this is going to blow your mind, Harmful. Some things in the world suck. Sometimes people die. Sometimes people do drugs. Sometimes people lose all their money on gambling. At some point, you just have to say, we've done as much as we can. Some people are just going to have to be fucked. Because the only other option to prevent people from being fucked is becoming an authoritarian hellscape that makes Hitler look like he's running a free commune. Like, that's just life.
Oh. The only thing you can do is get on your knees and pray that God will smite people and get them to actually parent their children. That's all you really can do, you know.
Thank you, Massive Doge, for 420. Is Harmful Opinions becoming the dev SFO? He might be. We're going to have a day where he unironically gets caught in Discord saying he won't ban pedophiles because they don't technically break the rules.
I remember when Dev said that. That is absolutely fucking insane. Dev, do you remember that Dev, doubled and tripled down on that, too? And I'm sure if you still ask Dev today, he will double and triple down on that again.
And it's painful.
Short fat otaku. There's a reason why nobody streams with him anymore.
Also, Aspire2, somebody in chat says, look at Australia's under 16 ban, 2 weeks for public consultation with over a whole bunch of written responses, not including emails and phone calls to officials. They held a committee and heard about 20 of them.
Our government is currently being sued over the under 16 ban as well. And to be honest, everyone was able to bypass it anyway, because if you didn't know, our government doesn't know how to use the internet.
Well, nobody's government does.
I think, I'm pretty sure everybody knows this, but when I used to work for the post office, do you know what operating system they still used for the fucking post office?
It was Windows XP?
I think it was either Windows XP or 98, because they don't update. Because if you have to update that system, you have to update and bring everything along with it. And that's fucking terrifying for the US government to have to do, even though I still think that they should do it. So it's just like, why is a government that doesn't know how to use technology legislating this kind of shit?
Yep.
So I bet it's still Windows 98. I'm going to be honest. It's been long enough that I could be wrong. I'm pretty sure it's one of those two. Pretty sure.
A little bit after that, Leaflet elaborates.
But as a parent, you have the final control over everything that happens to your kid. And that's my point.
Pretty much.
When I said that, that was the point of my tweet. And it wasn't even really about the nuts thing. The tweet was actually completely, I wasn't even thinking about that specific situation when I said that. It's just when I was thinking about all of the stuff that people were saying, it made me think man, we could solve all this if parents just actually took care of their kids.
Mm-hmm.
Cool, Leaflet. How do you make that happen? If you do not provide an answer after saying that, your position is actually, let it happen. If your position is that bad things are happening and parents should stop it, and you stop there, you are making an excuse. Also,
it's not an excuse, it's just reality.
Yeah. Very godless argument.
I have to agree with chat. This is just the Brit Bong mind of if something's bad is happening, the government has to fix it.
I do feel like British have this kind of culture of this whole idea of government oversight needs to happen for everything, and they just willing to throw away all forms of freedom for some pretend comfort.
I always think about the quote, one of the worst statements you can hear in your life, we're the government and we're here to help.
Yeah.
It's just...
I prefer my government at the end of the bayonetta on my firearm.
How is Leaflet and Nux connected? Do they collab at one point? They have at one point tweeted at each other.
And like I said, I believe that they might have some more conversations in DMs. That's not something I was really concerned about. But it is my understanding that they have been friendly towards each other.
Yeah.
It's very loose, in my personal opinion. I don't even think if they've collabed, I have no idea of it. And I typically know it when people collab because people like write that down in the annals of history. I still remember that Kirsch did one collab with him.
Collabed.
Yeah.
Kirsch has done a collab with him. And I know that because everybody keeps bringing it up. If she's done a collab with him, I feel like I would have heard of it.
Yeah.
Personally don't want to be surrounded by nonces, even if there aren't any kids around. I think that's a problem. How does parental supervision solve that? Leaflet then seethes about Nicandros for an extended period of time, and having complained that I didn't ask to talk to people, she complains that Nicandros asked to talk to her. Make it make sense. She then continues to seethe that people are
Okay,
asking her
so
about.
Are you going to play that clip?
no, I can't remember if he does, but I will just explain. I asked her, did any of these people reach out to you? And let's see if he plays the clip, and then I'll explain it to the best of my recollection.
Stuff.
Because when I said that parents should be responsible, I never said solely responsible.
That's true of that one tweet, but she's been talking about this.
Okay,
for
yeah,
quite
he
a while.
doesn't actually show it. So he did mention her, and I think this was before she realized she was getting a ton of hate, so she probably didn't even recognize what was going on. I would need to reconfirm or ask her, but based off of the way that it was done, I don't think she probably even knew what was going on.
Well, I would also say there's a difference between you should message people that you're directly making a story about, and I don't like that this guy messaged me about something that literally has nothing to do with me.
It was an @ on Twitter. If you go to Nick Andros' Twitter and then just look up Leaflet,
Was it not a DM? It was just an @
No, it was an @ on Twitter.
Oh, that's how he
Here,
starts
let
shit.
me
You're just
find it.
lying then. If
Let
it's
me
not a
find it. Let
DM,
me
if it's
find
an @ you're just lying because that's just how people start shit.
Here, I will find it for you because I was the one who found it when I did this interview because she couldn't even find it. Let's see. Oh, yep, here it is. So, you remember the clip by the throwaway account that mentions that she doesn't want to talk about it, right?
Yeah.
Okay. He literally retweets that tweet, @ her, and says, "Do you want to talk about it?" That's I just put it in the side chat. That's his asking to talk about it. You're telling me that is adequate enough to reach out to somebody? Motherfucker, do you know how often, like, I don't see shit in my, like, you know how one, Twitter's fucking broken, and half the time I can't see things. And two, Leaflet gets 10 times the interaction that I do. Do you think that she's actively going back through all of her interactions to see who messages her? No. If you actually want something to go through, you can't even use Twitter anymore. You have to email somebody or reach out on Discord. Say that that's adequate enough is a slap in the fucking face, in my personal opinion.
Yeah. Also, that's just dumb. Like, you're quoting a clip where she says, "I don't want to be involved," and you're like, "Do you want to talk about not wanting to be involved?" You have your answer before you ask the question. What crack are you smoking?
They're doing the
think-
same thing that people did to Emery.
I'm going to be honest. I don't think Brits are allowed to smoke anything. Just the people that invade their country can. So,
also, where was it? By the way, thank you for the raid, Kendra.
yes, welcome, Kendra. My apologies. You came in during a rant.
I was trying to find it because it was up here. Might have been. I'll mention it if I see it again.
While in her commentary on what happens to kids online and whose responsibility it is and why restrictions are being put in place, she has in fact said,
Like, dude, this is all the fault of people not taking care of their kids. This is freaking ridiculous. If you fuck up your kids, that shouldn't be my problem.
they yap for a while, and Mama Occo says,
What we're asking for is for parents to do more than what we see that they are doing, because parents are just literally handing technology to a kid and saying, "Go wild."
and how would she make that happen? She never, ever suggests anything. I don't have an answer for that.
That's not
either.
true.
That's why I
actually,
talk about what can be done instead.
That's
The
not
government
true.
has
That's a lie. I actually suggested that parents need to be punished and be given education on it. But after hearing what Mizu said, I'm more in agreement with that. I don't feel like that's a good idea because then the government will over-legislate it. So it's just like, he's technically lying here because I did give an option. It's a bad option now looking back in retrospect, but it's a lie. I did give an option.
Yeah. And it's just like, I always hate when people say this, like, "Oh, so you don't have a solution. That just means my solution is the best one." No, that's not how it works, right? Because You're like somebody that comes up to me and is like, there's a lot of war in the world. We could just nuke all these countries I don't like. And I'm like, well, I really don't think we should do that. That seems very overzealous and that would cause a lot of damage. And you're just like, well, you don't have a solution for stopping war. So we just have to go with mine then.
Okay, Hitler.
I mean, that's unironic what he's doing. He's like the government needs to like crack down on these parents. I'm like, I don't think the government should do that. It's like, oh, well, what's your solution then? Well, I don't really have like a good one. It's a very multifaceted, complex issue. Well, I guess we're just gonna have to go with mine.
I'm good, thank you.
No, that's not how that works. Believe it or not, and I've talked about this with other people before, and it's one reason I don't really talk about political stuff. Most political issues don't have a solution. Just like flat out, no matter what you say, there is no perfect solution that's just going to fix whatever issue you think it is. We have agreements and disagreements on stuff that can make numbers go up and numbers go down. But anybody that tells you this fixes the whole problem, they're lying to you. And they know they're lying to you. They know there's no fix for the problem. There's just some things that work better and some things that work worse.
Like homelessness. It's a multifaceted issue, and if somebody says they have one-stop solution for homelessness, they're fucking lying. And you want to know why I know they're lying? Because I was in California and worked on the streets with multiple homeless. It doesn't work, and just throwing money at it doesn't work. And I hate it when people say that they have the solution for it, because they know that they're fucking lying.
Salvage for 5. When the UK complained about manga and anime, Japan just sent them their own crime stats, and the UK banned anime and manga. Yeah.
That's funny. There's only compromises? Yeah.
All I heard was Mizu saying to nuke the nation of not America.
Quest 2. It's legislation. These people love to complain about that happening while literally asking for it. Solve this. Solve this. This needs to be solved. They're doing it. Later, Leaflet talks about the people who are talking about.
That's not the same thing, though. Like, that's again, the British mind can't comprehend daddy government not being involved. Because they say they need a solution. Government's the solution. No, it's not. We're American. We don't like the government. We don't want the government doing shit.
Exactly.
Is Harmful British? Yes, Harmful Opinions is British.
Yes, he's a Brit bong.
Which is why every time somebody talks about a solution, he goes, so why do you want government involved? He hates daddy government. He really wants them involved.
I don't know. Yeah, I feel like I'm hearing a lot of advocation for it.
About her.
And see, this is my dilemma now, right? My dilemma is, do I do nothing so that they see it, or do I farm them for content?
Allow me to present option C. Enact a policy of banning minors from your Discord on site, or get better mods.
I kind of feel like just not giving them what they want is probably better.
I want you to instruct your mods to ban minors on site, or get better mods. Why wouldn't you do that? To own me and people like me? Seems insane.
I don't think that's what she said.
Okay,
I think that what he's being is hyperbolic here and being disingenuous. I'm sorry. That's not what she meant, and I think he knows that.
Yeah.
What she's talking about, what she's talking about, and I don't even remember now, because even though it's been 24 hours, but what she's talking about is responding to them and actually giving them the content. And I told her in DMs this, and I might have even explained it during stream, that what these people want is not a dialogue. What he's saying here is he's like, oh, I want you to do this, this, and this. And I was like, I don't think you do. I think what you want is you want a response. You want her to continue to dig a hole that you think that she is digging, and you want to be able to respond to it so that you can make another video. That's unironically what you want. And so I have told her this is what they want. And so when she says, I don't know if I want to give them what they want or if I want to farm them for content, she's talking about, I don't know if I want to give them more content or if I also want to just make content out of them.
Yeah.
To assume that she's talking about something else is kind of gross in my personal opinion. I don't know.
And chat mentions she was not talking about Harmful at all. She was talking about the Nux video.
No, she was talking about, exactly. She wasn't even talking about, he's really self-important here. That's the other thing that's really funny, is he thinks that she's only talking about him. No, motherfucker, she's not just talking about you. She's talking about everybody on Twitter that is trying to farm her. And that doesn't just include you.
I have a really controversial take. Not really, actually, but I like to pretend I do. I think the reason why he is so angry at Leaflet is because of the fact that, and if you go back to his other videos, he's very fixated on the issue of young-based VTubers. He brings it up a couple of times, and there seems to be a bit of a fixation hatred towards based female VTubers. I get the kind of suspicion that he's just really envious that these young based VTubers are growing very quickly and they're outperforming people like him who he believes he's entitled to more of the grandstand or the stage or the spotlight.
I try not to make those arguments because I feel like it's very easy for them to come back and say that they're not jealous, but I understand what you mean, and I could probably agree with you on
That's just
that.
my personal opinion. So.
No, that's fair. That's fair. Listen, there have been many times where I listen to some people complain and they're getting on their moral high seat. And like, there's a lot of small commentary shitters that I think do this too, where they get upset at the bigger commentary. I mean, I saw it recently when Chud Logic got beat the fuck out by Nicholas Diorio. And it's just like, I see a lot of people in the smaller space and they're like looking at the people doing better. And it's just like, it's very obvious the way that they attack, the way that they act, and how they do these ops. They're upset that they're not at the top. So they're going to try and claw at it by making these stupid arguments. Now, I try not to make those arguments because, again, it's very easy for them to just say, oh, I'm not jealous. You sound stupid and insane. But I kind of see why people would think that. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
To happen, you could make it happen.
Why would I argue with them? Why would I
Sweep is
entertain
on.
any of their arguments? Why would I watch their thing when...
Because weird shit happens with kids in your Discord, and your mods don't deal with it properly until they're forced.
It's so clear what they want.
I want you to ban
Again, she's
minors
talking
or
about
at least
nuts.
get better mods.
Or the
I
nuts
don't
stuff.
know how much.
Yeah. Also, really quick, Frog Jupiter for 4. North Korea solved homelessness by requiring people to have a home before they could have food.
That's
Also,
a brutal
fun
way
fact,
to do it.
North Korea solved dwarfism by rounding up all the dwarves and shipping them out of the country. I don't know where they sent them. I'm kind of the theory they just killed everybody because it is North Korea after all. All I know is they forced everyone out of the country that had dwarfism.
Okay, I'm dying right now, but that's amazing.
But
All of
the way they
worst ways
pitched it to
possible.
people was that they had discovered a cure for dwarfism.
Oh my gosh. I'm surprised Kim Jong-un wasn't put on that boat as well.
How much clearer I can be. I thought it was pretty obvious from the last 2 videos. I'm not being presumptuous. This is a stream where Mama Occo just watched them. They talk about sitting down and having conversations with people, and Leaflet says,
Yeah, I mean, that's how you actually solve problems, right? Like, is it about solving our problems, solving our differences, or is it about getting, like, some kind of, I don't know, community to pat you on the back?
it's actually about getting you to fix your shit, because someone told me about it and it's all f***ed up. If I've messed up, and I've missed something like this happening on my stuff, I would want to know so I could break the legs of everyone involved. Metaphorically, of course. A little while after, Leaflet
I don't believe you would. Because people have mentioned multiple times that he was friends with Short Fat Otaku. Never said a fucking word about him his entire life.
No. Oh man, yeah. I'm sorry. I didn't know Short Fat Otaku in the old days. I learned about him after the fact. I could tell from a mile away I wouldn't want to be his fucking friend.
Yeah. Like, you can't say, oh, like, if it was me, I would deal with it immediately. No, you wouldn't. Like, also,
I'm a little
Harmful, who
hard
the
of
hell are
believing
you
that.
to go and police anyone? Yeah. Like, I would do it. No, you wouldn't. Shut the fuck up. You have no idea how you'd react.
expresses her sorrow at the change in the kind of person she has to deal with.
Because like a year ago, I was definitely a lot more willing to talk to people, and I was a lot more willing to like engage with, you know, these kind of bad faith people.
If I'm making these suggestions and pointing these things out in bad faith, it doesn't change whether my suggestions are good or not, does it? Why does she not want to make things better? In the words of Shia LaBeouf, just do it. That does mean I win. And I'm doing this for Hassan Piker, so that means Hassan Piker wins. But why isn't it the right thing to do?
They're not trying to communicate.
You never show a point where she says, I'm not going to do that. Like, ever. And that's the other problem that kind of comes with your video, is just you're like, well, why doesn't she just fix the problem? She is, currently.
Well, she's not, because she's not in charge of the server, but
Well,
she's
that,
told
yeah.
me what they're doing. So,
Well,
you
then
know
the
what's
server
funny
is.
is it, as somebody who has got a really good track record of sitting down with people when they don't call you a pedophile, I could tell you that they are working on it. All right. And you probably would have learned that if you fucking talked to them and you approached them.
Yeah.
I did. And guess what? I've got way more information behind the scenes than you motherfucking ever will, because I actually did that. I don't know why that's so hard these days to not just call someone a pedophile and then ask for a conversation. It's so easy.
Yeah.
They're not trying to like
What did SFO do? We'd have to have an entire like stream day set aside for that.
I'm not willing to do that right now. This might not even be the community to do that, but I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
We'll just say the answer is yes.
On this conversation, they just want to hurt you for their benefit.
Yeah.
I want you to fucking ban kids or get better mods. If that hurts you, something's really wrong. You don't even have to say it's 18 plus. You just have to
Again,
enforce
that's
it. When you say it's 18 plus, it can give the impression that certain things are allowed that aren't, and the little retards will out themselves.
We're gonna have to. So there's a thing you can kind of do sometimes in court where you can be like, look, I'm just specifically when they're making they're asking you questions outside of court, depositions and stuff. You can say, I just have a blanket objection to all of this, basically. We just have to, in this case, be like, I have a blanket objection to everything he's saying because she's not talking about the issue he's trying to pretend she's talking about. So he's going to continually nitpick every little word she says, even though it's about a completely different issue.
Mm-hmm.
So there's basically no point for us to keep responding to him right now until he moves on to something else.
Yeah.
Thinking it's okay to, and then you just pop them. There you go. There's one way to do it.
I guess moving forward here with the Discord, my only thing would just be to be like, listen, there's minors in there. You probably should just cheat them.
What the fuck?
It's not my server, so obviously, and it's not your server, I guess. So, you know, they can do whatever they want. But I would just suggest to avoid future videos like this, just get rid of them.
That's what I said. Look at it. Your life could be a lot easier if you just nuked kids on site. I'm going insane. Yes, this is the whole point of what I'm saying.
What we're considering is like something along the lines of you either have to be on Patreon.
Patreon's a 13 plus site, and age gate is applied to 18 plus creators. But if you're not in that category, your solution is to get more money and still allow kids. It's 2026. Minors have debit cards.
Or you get like a really expensive channel point reward, and that like actually gets you access to the server.
Mm-hmm.
So I wonder if that would be the play. Like,
That'll help with ban evasion. It won't help you with the kid stuff.
I don't know, but in the end, I'm gonna talk to you know, Julio and Precure Hunter and Crazy, and probably just ask them what they want to do with it.
I know what Precure Hunter wants. Get rid of minors on site. I am genuinely losing it. They then have an extended discussion about stuff that won't really help that much.
You're losing it because you have concocted this person in your head that you're attacking, and you're finding out now that person doesn't actually exist. And you don't have a solution for that. Like, so you're just like, oh my god, it's ridiculous, isn't it? Am I taking crazy pills? No, you're not taking crazy pills, you're just crazy.
With their problem, and Leaflet gives a life
Comment
lesson
to my
about how
favorite
people
clip, by
make
the way.
mistakes.
Okay.
People will make mistakes when it comes to things like, is that like a complete indictment of their character that like, oh yeah, they love pedophilia because they made a mistake on their Discord? Like, I don't really think that's even remotely fair.
I just want you to fix your shit.
No, I would agree. I think, unfortunately, these days people are just so apt to quickly making snap choices. And again, I think it would be solved if people did more talking instead of just more being ready to poke and prod.
Lynching.
But lynching, yes. Lynching, definitely.
Yeah, I got that person who said they sent a minor thigh pics in your Discord lynched. That's sick, and I'm proud of it. Leaflet then talks about leaving it up to the mods.
Yeah, I mean, it's really up to how they want to do it. Like, I'll ask them like what they want to do. Like, I can give suggestions, obviously, but
You can also lay down the law. You've done it before. When people were saying the word troons, you stepped in. I showed it earlier.
wish he'd
Just
stop repeating
do it again
himself.
now.
Yeah, he's looping. It's so bad.
He's doing what I do, only I feel like it's worse.
Well, because
Actually,
he
no,
doesn't
my
have a tard
apologies.
wrangler because nobody wanted to be around him anymore.
Oh, that's mean, but also true.
No, I have to say, he scared off basically everybody that was trying to tard wrangle him because he refused to listen to anybody. Back in the Gamergate days, like, all Sargon basically told him was like, look, man, like, you have made good content, but you've got to, like, reel it in because you're just, like, swinging wildly at everyone around you. And, like, I can't be around you if you're going to keep doing that, because then people are asking me, like, why am I with the guy that constantly swings at everybody, like, ridiculously often? And he's like, well, then... And instead of, like, taking a moment to, like, lean back and be like, oh, maybe Sargon's right. Maybe I shouldn't swing at everybody constantly. He basically told Sargon to fuck off and that he was, like, he was aiding everybody else in a conspiracy against him.
Oh, man, look where that got you. With nobody wanting to associate with you from that era.
And he scared off all of his tard wranglers.
Oh, that's brutal. You know, I have to say, when the quartering is able to stick around Sargon longer than you, I think that's a problem, man. And maybe you should do some introspection. Just saying.
Also have to point out, because the guy that's been mad at us all stream says, so true, Queen, not like Candid was confirmed to be a massive scam. There's a lot of questions to ask with Candid. However, Candid factually wasn't a scam. It worked exactly as it was advertised to work. The question was never whether Candid was a scam or not. It was, is Candid being used to train a new Google AI in order to censor people? Which, by the way, we still don't have like a solid answer on that. We have no idea if that ever came through or not. But Candid just factually worked like it was supposed to. You got on the app, you asked anonymous questions, people anonymously answered. Like that's just how that was.
Brutal.
We actually do, Lamal? No, we don't. Trust me, I kept close tabs on that. We have absolutely no information of what happened with that. And we're never gonna know. Ebonics King for 2. Think it's time to cut ties with the priest. Yeah.
We did. 250 years ago, we did. Happy birthday, America.
In my first video, I called you spineless. I stand by that.
Everybody's kind of flying by the seat of their pants. They're learning as they go.
Leaflet, as I showed earlier, your server originally banned minors. You went backwards. You do that and or deal with your mods. I'm just gonna say, nice. What I've seen going on in your stuff is insane. And we'll get back to that in a bit, actually.
And I think these people, they have no grace. They expect absolute perfection from everybody, and that's not realistic to how people are.
I don't personally consider expecting mods when they're alerted to get rid of someone who says they're a kid and talking about fertile femboys and breeding to be perfection. What the f are you trying to pull?
Also, really quick, sorry, Wolfsbane, I missed your super chat. Wolfsbane for 2. SFO would require multiple streams if you wanted everything.
I'm not willing. I'm really not willing.
Yeah, everybody's kind of done with SFO.
All right, not willing. That would require, yeah, if I were to do that, we might have to try and dig Medicare out of the grave just to ask for that, and he would say no. So
And
it's not willing.
fertile
Not willing.
femboys and breeding to be perfection. What the f are you trying to pull?
Maybe they'll grow up one day and learn that.
Hey, you'll have a lot more grown-ups around you
Yeah, I have to like go back to this because
to get rid of someone who says they're a kid and talking about fertile femboys and breeding to be perfection. What the f are you trying to pull?
you are asking for it to be perfection because you're asking Leaflet to be omniscient. You're like, somebody in your server said this one time months ago. Okay. That's not Leaflet. Necessarily, you were asking that Leaflet be omniscient and know every single thing that is ever posted in her Discord at all times. That is asking for perfection. Just because you're retarded and you don't realize that's what you're asking for doesn't mean that's not what you're asking for.
Hatman's getting better. He is getting better. We can pray for a full recovery so he can go back to laughing about stuff on a monthly basis.
Yes.
Maybe they'll grow up one day and learn that.
Hey, you'll have a lot more grown-ups around you if you ban kids.
I'm used to being the least mature person in the room.
Believable. Hang on, maybe Leaflet does need to be destroyed. Anyway.
It's kind of such a weird shift to like everybody around me is being like a freaking child.
Yeah, because you welcome them to your Discord server. And
You cut that off before she even said anything. She physically did not say anything. You edited this so fucking poorly.
I'm pretty sure, isn't he the editor? Does he not do his own editing?
I assume he's his own editor. I don't know. If he has an editor, it's not mentioned in the chat or below.
Fair enough. I mean, like, not everybody mentions that they have editors, so.
your mods won't take appropriate action unless pressed. A little bit later, Mama Occo says something good.
Moving forward, if somebody says they're 15, I personally just wouldn't give them any quarter.
Yeah, good.
I mean, I feel I'm not perfect.
Sure, my first video was about this shit happening repeatedly with mods being pinged.
No, it wasn't. It was about it happening twice. Like, I think he's forgotten his own video. It was the same guy, the same moderator, and it technically happened twice. He's like, it happened repeatedly with multiple... No, it didn't. It was two people.
I'm not perfect either. Maybe I f***ed up somewhere. I want to know so I can fix it. But I've decided to be a public figure, small as I am. So if someone wants to point that out with a video, and especially if they want to point out because they've seen there's resistance to doing the right thing, and they want to force it, fair enough. First example I gave in my first video, about an interaction I found unacceptable, I literally said, maybe mods didn't know about it, but it's still a problem because the server is set up to facilitate it. I don't think that's too crazy.
I would hope that if somebody sees somebody claiming to be a minor, they would ping me in my mod chat.
Great. And Mama Occo, from what I watched, was generally on board when I made made suggestions along these lines-ish. Mama Occo knows what's right, but he's a pussy. He wants to keep his bridges safe. He's going to be soft, even when he knows what's right and wrong.
So I have to point that out because that's what Harmful seems to think makes them a brave, bold person, is that anytime they think somebody fucks up, they're willing to permanently burn a bridge at the drop of a hat with absolutely no option for rebuilding it or for fixing it. And that's why he says that, which, oh, Mama Occo keeps their bridges nice and safe. That's a criticism from him because he believes that if you think somebody fucked up in any way, the smallest amount of a way, that you should immediately burn your bridge with them.
That's a new redeem on my channel, by the way.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That's why he has no friends. That's why you've never once in your life seen anybody interact positively with Harmful other than Nick Andros.
Holy fuck. Every time I hear it, I have to laugh.
It's just so dumb.
That is gross. If someone's going to drop you because you don't just go, well, you know, it's not up to me, it's not up to you.
Look, man, you've been like defending Harmful all stream. I'm telling you, saying that he's friends with SFO is not helping your case.
No, that's not no. I'm sorry. If he is still friends with SFO, then I question him morally more than I question a lot of other people.
There's no value in having Dev as a friend.
Absolutely not.
I would like to believe, given how quickly he burns bridges with other people, that he would not be friends with SFO.
I don't know. I'm being told I can't take chat at face value, which I do believe, by the way. So we'll say that maybe that's not true, but if it is true, oh man.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Be connected to that person. You talk about other people being clout goblins. Look in the mirror.
Yeah, I'm fine with I'm fine with Operation Hazelnut.
I have to say this. Oh, you think other people are clout goblins? Look in the mirror. Yeah, bro, look in the mirror. It's literally all just call-outs.
It gets boring after a while. I'm sorry. Like, that's why I
When he
try to do
repeats the
more than
same
just
people.
that.
Pirate software, pirate software, pirate software. Like, he'll get on a kick with one person, and then he'll just do them constantly.
It gets boring. Like, okay, the only people at the end of the day that will react to that content are people like me or Mizu that want to laugh at something when it seems convenient, or the other commentary shitters that you're circle jerking with. Nobody else really cares. So
there are kids that love the idea of chasing endless hate towards content creators, which is generally probably his main audience.
Yeah.
Oh, geez, don't say that kids are part of his main audience. He might have to stop making YouTube content, according to Nick Andros.
I just love you get
I feel like most adults wouldn't have the patience for that content.
Tectone, Nux, and then Leaflet. I've said this before. There's nothing wrong when it comes to content creation with being a clout goblin. Personally, that's my belief. However, you can't call people clout goblins when you're a clout goblin.
You need to be self-aware of what you are, which he clearly is.
Have a little bit of self-awareness.
Nutella, I'm just nuking all of the minors out, sir. I'm like totally fine with that, personally.
Then do it. You did it for trans people. You can do it for kids.
No, it's my understanding that that's happening.
It's up to what they want to do.
I also don't understand why he's bringing up the trans people thing. Like,
I think it's because, like, that's one of the things that, like, is big in the Right Spear. But that just, again, proves that he doesn't know who she is. Because, like, Leaflet, like me, likes to have both sides of the conversation. And because of life experiences that I had, and maybe life experiences that Leaflet had, we like to get the entire conversation. She's had a debate with Nyara. I've had a debate with Nyara. Two things that I know most people in the Right Spear would never have, because it's not worth it to them. It's just worth it for them to just say trans people are bad. And Leaflet, like, this just tells me he doesn't know who she is, and he didn't take any time, and he's just assuming all of these different things. And it's just like, okay.
I mean, he was assuming that she was like a Christian content creator because she had a chat called Bible Study.
Which, by the way, in the interview that he definitely didn't cherry pick from, she said was added because people begged for it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. he's been over that part. Like, he definitely. But he's in his first video, which he hasn't said it this video, but his first video he kept spamming, Christian content creator, such a good Christian girl, da 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 da. And it's like, when are you smoking? Just because you had a Bible study chat?
No,
How they wanna
I
handle
mean,
it.
like,
They have their-
she's probably more Christian than a lot of other people, but I don't think she's like this perfect Christian that. Dude, I'm sure Templar is more of a Christian than she is. I don't know, man.
their own ideas for how things should go.
Hello, hello, Earth to Leaflet. Here's Precure. She then says,
And if I could tell them what to do, then it would actually be my Discord, right?
little problem there. We've seen you making decisions. And your mod Crazy, 3 days ago, claimed that you go above their head to make decisions.
Again,
You are not as
apparently
hands-on
Crazy was wrong about this. This Leaflet told me when she heard this clip that the Crazy is wrong about this.
as you pretend to be, and they then wrap up. Now, there's been a lot of talk about getting rid of minors or not, and that distracts from another issue I alluded to earlier. Precure's suggestion to ban on cipher minors is good, but if you don't do that, Precure is a problem. You say it's jokes, you say it's bait for me. I don't buy it. This person cannot be a mod.
Okay, you don't buy it, then you're a sex offender. And that's not me. That's not me accusing you of anything. You have publicly said on stream that you're a sex offender. You might say that was a joke. I just don't buy it. Like, who in public calls themselves a sex offender? That's just such an extreme action to take. And it just gets you, like, so much negativity. I just can't believe someone would say that in public.
Yeah, I would never say that about myself, even as a joke. I'd be too freaked out to do that myself.
It's a line I wouldn't cross because of the nature of what it is.
At least these days, you know.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not saying these are good jokes. I objectively think his jokes are bad, just like I think your joke about being a sex offender was bad. The difference is I recognize it's still a joke.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going
I
to
like
say
how the chat.
it's so dumb.
Sorry, go ahead. I was just gonna say, I like how the chat has devolved into saying who the fuck is SFO, and then everybody else in the chat is correcting it, and then people are asking what he did.
Yeah. It's a long story, chat. The fact that you don't know is a good thing.
Yes, pretty much.
In a server that welcomes kids. Let's talk about Precures. Actually, it's about ethics and grooming. An adult got groomed by a minor because he was too retarded to listen to people when they told him to just block the minor, asks Norlax. Precure responds with a nodding gif. We have posts by the minor in this chat of them being sexually aggressive unprompted. They share a post by the person who said they were 14 and then 15. This is from the minor, soliciting the adult. And that was less than a month since the minor had joined the server. Not seeing the joke. Can you explain it? I think it's kind of weird as well, but the adult...
The joke, as many people would be able to tell you if they had a funny bone, is the what do you call it when it's two like separate things that are polar opposites? For some reason I'm blanking on it. But basically the whole joke is the fact that it's completely the opposite. Which is a type of joke. Like when something is so blatantly the other way, it's a type of joke that comedians make.
Oxymoron?
It's not an oxymoron. I would know it if I saw it.
Antonym? Antonym?
An antonym is a different thing. It's like I think antonym is the word that's the same backwards as it is forwards. I can't remember.
It's getting late, so that's fair.
It doesn't matter. PQ is defending it, not making satire. In that case, Harmful Opinions is a sex offender.
Yeah. You can't have it both ways, I'm sorry.
I think a really good example of somebody who kind of does this sort of humor was the old Tosh.0.
Okay.
Tosh was really big on the like shitty humor kind of thing, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Cool logic, nobody buys it. My community buys it. Don't you buy it, guys?
I mean, I buy it.
Exactly.
And yeah, I don't know. I think a lot of people buy it.
See him defending it and
Palindrome?
making jokes. Him defending it is the joke. I don't like those jokes. I personally believe that if you make those jokes, at some point you just look like an idiot. It doesn't look like humor. However, those were very common internet jokes for like decades.
Yeah. I'm learning that more and more recently, but even I understand that like there's just jokes that were said back then that I missed out on because I wasn't allowed on the internet.
Yep. But no, like it's very clearly jokes, and if we're really gonna play the game with, well, I don't believe it's a joke, then I'm gonna pull that game on you. And the difference is it's a lot more explicit with you than it even is with them. So good luck.
Adult was pathetic enough and the minor pushy enough that it's not unbelievable. Pras Madras steps in to say, I think the important things to notice here are minor and adult. Only one of those can really be at fault here. Minor can do wrong, of course, but just ban and move on then. The mod says, their ages aren't actually that different. It's like 14 versus early 20s. Yeah, legally it would be the adult's fault, no matter what, but morally, they both seem to be at fault. Pras Madras responds to the no matter what message and says, exactly, you can do what you want, but I would suggest that you stop painting the minor as the aggressor here, even if it's true. Whew. The only one who can truly be at fault here is the adult, and that's that. It doesn't look good when you talk about the minor being the baddie. I can only speak for myself though. Why can't anyone have any conviction? It's sad. Precure Hunter says, I care more about the truth than the law. Pras Madras responds, I can understand that, I'm just saying it doesn't look.
So you don't see how that's a joke?
No, yeah. It's again, I said this multiple times, and I will continue to say it ad infinitum. They're not my jokes. They're not jokes that I would make because, you know, we live in the world we do. But they're jokes, very clearly.
It's so funny. Like, you can't tell this is a joke with the little praying emoji. Okay.
Care more about the truth than the law. Pras Madras responds, I can understand that, I'm just saying it doesn't look great. I understand that the minor must have been.
How's Leaflet involved again? He put her face all over everything and put her name all over everything. That's really it. She's actually not seen interacting in any of these situations.
It's just because her face is on the Discord server. If it was literally anybody else, their face would be on the Discord server. If it was my Discord server, my face would be on
let's
there.
be honest. It's her face because she's the creator. And that's how he gets attention.
No, that's fair.
Been a creep and definitely did wrong, but putting any focus on the actions of the minor does not look great. That's all I'm saying. Later, my second video is uploaded, and Precure talks about the situation so far to someone who wants a quick rundown. Within that, they say that in my second video, I'm talking about their logic not being good enough because they said it's possible that the adult was groomed by the teenager. They say they banned 15th Watcher on the basis of a preponderance of evidence. You should have banned them because there is a message from them saying they sent a minor their thigh, clothed as it was, because the minor was pursuing them. No need for waiting probability.
That would be preponderance of the evidence. I don't know if you.
It's 51%.
I don't know if you just don't know what that word means. That's all I could think of is that you just don't know what that word means. You should have Googled preponderance of the evidence before you did that.
Abilities or legal jargon, you say that, you get whacked. Maybe it didn't happen. Maybe the pick wasn't that bad. No, you ban them. And they elaborate, stating the real problem with someone like me. The real overarching problem here, though, is that people don't like dealing with people who are undecided or entertaining unorthodox positions. Like, it's obviously inflammatory to think that the child was grooming the adult, and if you by definition think that it can only go the other way, then you'll bristle strongly at the mere suggestion.
People don't like dealing with people who are undecided or entertaining unorthodox positions. It's obviously inflammatory to think that the child was grooming the adult, and if you by definition think that it can only go the other way, then you'll bristle strongly at the mere suggestion of that.
Suggestion of that. They're memeing, yeah? This is just a meme, yeah? Haha, 4chan.
Yeah, because you're watching them. That's the...
No, yeah. Like, literally, they said they...
That's something you have to consider, is that you are keenly aware that they know you're watching. This is a kind of a concept in science that has to do with more with particles and stuff. But basically, certain particles actually interact differently when observed than they do by themselves.
I'm familiar, yeah.
Yeah, it's basically that principle. Because they are being observed, they are acting differently than they otherwise would, which is why they would never happen any other way. Look, bro, I've let you speak your piece, but you can't no insulting me on my channel. You're in timeout. Be in timeout.
I looked through his message history. He actually has a message where he's like, "Oh, HO is a sexual predator." I'm just sitting here like, okay, whatever, whatever.
Look, you could say whatever you want, but when you start insulting me or my guest, you get put in the box. You get put in gay baby jail. Be in gay baby jail.
That's very gay.
But no, it's just he's ignoring the fact that the guy knows he's being watched, Because if he truly believed this was like such a damning piece of evidence, doesn't he think the guy would hide it? Like, because he knows he's being
It doesn't
watched.
matter. Doesn't matter. It's his goal is to make it look as horrible as possible. He's not going to consider that, because if he has to consider that, he knows that his position might be wrong or incorrect.
Yeah,
And you and I both know that.
cringing gay.
Then they explain the reason for ban that I showed you earlier. Kitty Des amongst that says, you think the underage aren't the ones who are uncontrollably horny? You gotta pry them off each other with crowbars. Sure, teens are hormonal, but we're talking about moderating a Discord server where minors and adults interact. Precure responds and explains that their comment about age was not a joke. Yeah, that too. That's why I said it's not like it's an 8-year-old comment. If you're sending pics to an 8-year-old, then obviously it's grooming. If you're sending it to a horny teenager that specifically requested them, that's less obvious. It was literally just about how plausible each story would be. Prazel says, but again, still a minor, and Precure responds, of course, but if you have identical moral considerations for a 15-year-old and an 8-year-old simply because they're both underage, you're living in a fantasy world that doesn't actually exist. We're talking about banning someone from Discord for being a creep. You don't have to measure which fraction of a ban you give them. Just hit them. No need to hesitate or wrestle with the philosophy of grooming. You nailed them eventually, but you were struggling. People chit-chat and the Precure ends up talking about the problems with the age of consent in general. Very epic Reddit chungus, my dude. This person cannot.
Yeah, because again, they know you're watching them. What do they actually say? One of the problems with age of consent in general, sure, it's a practical, straightforward, and useful line to draw to protect children from adult predators, because it gives people this warped perspective. Maturation isn't like flipping on a light switch at your 18th birthday, and now you're somehow an entirely different person than the day before. It's gradual, but the legal line in people's minds just overwrites all that complexity with an arbitrary minor adult distinction. I mean, that's true. A lot of people kind of have this idea of like once you're 18, you're now an adult and you suddenly have full adult thoughts and full adult knowledge and full adult like understanding of the world.
Mm-hmm.
In reality, I think it's perfectly reasonable to think somebody that's like in their 40s can manipulate a like 20-year-old just as easily as like a 25-year-old can manipulate like a 17-year-old.
Mm-hmm.
That like he I guess that's why he doesn't read this and he flashes it up on screen, because I think most people would actually agree with this post, like just on its face. Like,
No,
yeah,
I mean, I agree.
18 isn't a magical number where you're just magically an adult now and you
There's
understand
a
the
lot
world.
of people. There's a lot of people that are just mentally not there, even when they turn 18. Hell, even when they're in their 20s, it's just like, are you sure you're an adult? You definitely act like a child.
Yeah. I mean, that's why in America you can't drink until you're 21.
Yeah.
Talking about the problems with the age of consent in general. Very epic Reddit chungus, my dude. This person cannot be a moderator on a server that welcomes kids.
Yeah,
How
they're
the
allowed to
fuck
vote.
Is that controversial?
Yeah.
There's going to be a hefty intro.
Well, that's all. That was the end of the
that it?
video. Yeah.
Well, oh, fuck. It ended just, stop attacking me like this. You know I love you, Winter.
He's just so dumb. He has nothing going on.
I feel like that's a good one-liner to explain it. It's just so dumb. Why is Occo calling me out? I'm sorry, but you know it's right. You know I'm telling the truth.
Also, I've had this discussion before, and it'll probably get me in trouble to bring it up again. But,
Uh-oh.
like, teenagers get involved in sexual spaces they definitely should not be involved in, and there's really no way to tell. And I know because I was, like, 14 when I was playing Second Life and sneaking into, like, not safe for work sex clubs on that game.
Mm-hmm.
And I wasn't telling anybody my age at all.
Well, some of them just are like that. I mean, like we've talked about this before. I did ERP on the internet, and I definitely wasn't an adult when I started doing that. And the better and better you get as a writer, people are just not going to question or care, because why do you? You're just going to hope and assume that everybody's an adult in that space.
Chat, it's not
People
always
became a
Second Life.
fanboy.
Shut up.
He later became a femboy. At least for the femboy pipeline, chat. At least for that.
These kids are telling them. That's how I know they're probably not kids.
Yeah,
Like,
because I didn't.
yeah, like
I never did.
nobody tells anybody their age. They never do, unless it's like a
Some-
joke or they're flat retarded.
I'm sure that some of them are.
Yeah.
Actually kids. But if you think every single one is doing it, that's just a flat out lie. I know I didn't. I bet you Mizu didn't. And I know Lumi definitely didn't either. Some of the shit that she tells me that she got into based off of how her childhood works. Yeah, I know for a fact she didn't tell people what her age was.
HO is going to make a Under the Tea call out video next. I hope he shows those messages he sent me on my own channel, Malding, about my take on his was it his Taiga video? God, I can't remember.
I think it was his Taiga video.
I responded to one of his videos and he started malding in my chat. Like, how dare you say that? And he just his messages that he sent to me are kind of proof that I think he's retarded or something. Because some of his messages just straight didn't make any sense.
Like what?
Well, he was replying to me in my YouTube comments, and like none of his replies actually were talking about what I said.
Okay.
It just seemed like they didn't connect to each other. Like they just seemed like strings of words that like an AI spit out. And I'm like, I even sent him a message. It's like, I genuinely don't know what you're saying. Like I physically can't read them.
Oh.
Why not show them? Because I have like 400 videos on my channel.
Wait, did he like go into one of your videos to do it?
Yeah.
Oh man.
He was replying to one of my videos.
And you don't remember which one off the top of your head?
No, I could probably scroll through. It's one of my lives.
Fair. Well, we can do it for a little bit. I'm sure that when he makes his response, he'll go back and find them.
Wait, here, you talk about whatever you want to, and I'll just, I don't know how far back it is.
Spiritu, what manga do you recommend right now, since you're the Annie-tuber of the channel? You and Mizu, kind of.
Oh, gay question.
Well,
I don't know.
What do you think of Mash? What do you think of Mashal, or have you watched it? Magic and Muscles.
The one with the guy that lifts like insane things.
It's the one where the guy is like in a magic school, but he has like zero magical talent at all, but is like absolutely maxed out on strength.
Oh yeah, I have not
sounds like a
watched that,
fairy tale,
but I've listened
art.
into the opening song like 100 times just because it's so catchy.
It is a good one. I would recommend it if anybody has seen it.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't say Mashler. I said Mashal. And if you want to say it Mashly, that's close enough.
Because I'm currently watching the anime called "And My Friend's Sister Has It In For Me."
Oh my gosh. Sounds totally like fair and not weird in any way, shape, or form.
The
But it is
exact
fans,
title
though.
is "My Friend's Little Sister Has It In For Me."
Oh my gosh.
I wanted to watch that one. I haven't seen it yet.
What's it about?
It's like Gamers, if you've ever watched Gamers.
Okay.
It's basically a dude that's it's kind of complex. It's probably because I'm half asleep. But it's a
That's fair.
situation where he has like a friend, and his sister, well, his friend's sister lives in the same apartment, and she's kind of like doesn't have any freedom. Like her mom doesn't let her like do anything, and so
Okay.
he's like, okay, you can like come to my place and read stuff and do stuff, and he makes a game with her brother so that her and her friend can test the game, and then she becomes a voice actor in it, and her friend ends up doing the music in it.
Interesting.
And they end up just becoming like closer friends, and it's kind of like one of those where it's like she doesn't like him at the start, thinks he's creepy just because he's like so pushy about trying to help her, and then she just kind of like goes to the point where she's like, no, I just want to like dry hump you now.
That's quite the evolution for the story.
Found it. Luckily,
You found
somebody
it?
sent it to me.
Somebody sent it to you.
I was
That's
scrolling
great.
through my Discord because I knew they sent it the other day. How far down is his comment on that?
Did you get a lot of comments on this video?
No.
Hmm.
So it was the one where I did the bitty cat thing. And my
Oh, okay.
My
Because I knew he was really
complaint-
hard on the bitty cat thing.
my complaint for people who don't know is not necessarily that Bitty Cat didn't do anything wrong, but that I didn't like how I don't like pedo hunters, right, on like YouTube, because all they do is they let people get away. And one of the big complaints I had was after he made his Bitty Cat video, people went looking for the Bitty Cat information. All of it had been wiped and deleted. And because that's
these
what
people made
happens.
these videos. Right.
Well, all the people he were accusing, all of their information was like wiped and deleted and it was gone.
Because that's what happens when you make these videos without going to the police, is they see that you do this and then they wipe the information. And unless you try and get the police to go to Discord and subpoena Discord, good fucking luck. You just let them get away.
Yeah. So I'll pull it up for chat. So I made a response to him and he replied to me, I've been on a campaign to expose all the predators. Haha, news to me. Like I said at the very start of the video, I was looking into anti-attacks on Bitty Cat and came across this server in just 3 clicks away from her Twitter profile. I thought it was crazy that when I gave a little info to Kashimu the lolicon, who told me they hunt pedos, the server was immediately warned and she helped Bitty Cat with damage control. The video would not have actually been made otherwise. I would have left it at the tips I put in to appropriate agencies and letting a trusted lolicon pedo hunter, lol, know what I found out about their friend and claimed ally in pedo hunting. Which is just a lie. He did not put in a tip anywhere. He's just making shit up.
If he did, I would like to see that, actually.
So I replied to him. I didn't say that. I said you had numerous videos trying to expose pedos, which you do. It's odd you'd try and twist the argument like this. Which, by the way, he's still doing that. Like that's with the Nox stuff. That's with the Leaflet stuff. He's still doing the I'm chasing pedos. I'm the pedo hunter. So this is just more accurate now than it was years ago.
Him and Nick Andros, the pedo hunter duo. And all of commentary community is going to comment on it.
And then he says, read the first line of the description you wrote. I said, the first line of my humorous and hyperbolic description. Are you admitting to just headline reading and ignoring the article now? Again, super funny with his videos currently that we were watching that had Leaflet's degenerate Discord server, Leaflet's pathetic Discord server defense. Like, you're complaining about like headlines, and mine was just in my description. I had made a joke about him in the description, and apparently that was just too much. It says, I think my last comment got eaten by YouTube for being too harsh. Haha, here goes again. The comical line I laughed at. Lamau, I think you're a very special person.
That's a very nice way of saying he's retarded.
What does this mean? No, that's what he said. Like, what does this mean?
Oh, I see.
I don't understand what he's saying. Like, I get the first part, he made a comment and then YouTube ate it. And then he just says, the comical line I laughed at, Lamau, I think you're a very special person. When he's he's writing this like small essay complaining about the line I wrote.
Maybe that, you know what? I don't know.
And I just asked him, are you okay, my dude? You're barely making sense. Maybe go back to the drawing board with your comment and try it again. And he just didn't reply. Also, this one's, I don't know if you noticed this one's been edited.
Oh, he edited it? Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I have no idea what this originally said. I seem to recall it being much longer, but I can't prove that. It's just so funny. What did I actually say in my description that had him upset? Is it still there? YouTuber Harmful Opinions has been on the campaign to expose all the predators in the YouTube community, but not much seems to be getting done. In fact, more people seem to be turning on him than anything. What went wrong? And that's all I said, and that upset him.
I don't think Wayback Machine is going to work on comments, but...
It can sometimes, but it's like really... It's very uppity. He had credibility. I mean, he did for a while back when the Candid stuff happened. And then it kind of fell apart. Thank you, Internet Zen Master for 5. Man, I fell asleep for a bit. This is still going. Just how bad is Harmful destroyed his credibility.
I mean, we're almost done here. I'm going to be honest with you. There's not much more that we can really say. But
oh, no, we're definitely done. Because I have to get to sleep because I have a surgery in the morning.
Oh, fun. Fun.
I have to get up in 9 hours.
Oh, yeah. We'll let you go to bed.
Yeah, sorry, chat. I would
It's
keep
not-
going, but I have
I was about to say
surgery.
my accurate size compared to your model, I think you'd be down to
Oh,
the
are
thigh.
you sending to Lumi?
What? Oh, I
Lumi
didn't close
streaming?
it. Shit. My bad.
Is Lumi streaming right now?
No, that was my video.
Oh, fair.
I forgot to like pause it.
Uh.
Enjoy your bananas and rice. I don't like bananas.
Yes, chat. Pray for Mizu. Mizu's going to get rid of the gates tomorrow.
I'm gonna love it.
That is his. That is what he's doing right now.
I'm sure it'll be fine.
Oh, I'm sure it'll be. Yeah, I'm sure it'll be fine.
All I know is I'll be asleep.
How are you gonna get home?
My dad.
Okay, fair. I was gonna say you probably don't want to drive home when they put you to sleep.
Oh, they won't do a surgery on you unless you have a driver currently there with you.
Good. Good.
Yeah, you don't have a choice.
That's kind of what I figured. But when you originally talked to me about it, I was kind of under the impression that you were just going to drive yourself home, and I'm just like, I don't think they'll let you do that.
Well, the answer is they won't.
Good.
Anyways, chat, I'm gonna send you all away to a small VTuber playing some Silent Hill. Please be good for
Nice,
them
chat.
and give them lots of fun messages in the chat.
Banana bread. Banana bread's good when you have good stuff to go along with it.
And chat, I think we will do any tuber audits on Sunday. I'm pretty sure I can at least talk by then. We'll see.
Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful.
Night, everybody. Say bye to a
Good night,
Spiritu,
everyone.
chat.
Great Emu War will rise again.
If it does, your country is gonna like get taken over completely.
I'm
Pretty
joining
much.
I'm joining the winning side.
Night, everybody.
Oh, you're joining the side of the emu.